Welcome to Order of Mamoru, Episode 3, A Sundered Soul. We'll be starting shortly. Good morning, New York. That is a question for the ages, Marco. I don't think the Order will ever be ready to Mamoru. Look, I never forced you. I mean, if you can wake up this early, you could always wake up an hour earlier tomorrow. I mean, that's dedication to the cause. I appreciate that, but you certainly don't have to wake up at 7 o'clock. Sometimes it's okay to be a night owl. Sometimes. Alright, I'm gifting a random sub to someone out there. There you go. I'm not even sure if he's here. But our good friend Jakar is now subscribed. For the good reasons, I agree. Yeah. Alright, let's dive into the chat. Let's get this party started. Hello?
Hello.
How goes it?
My brother keeps sending me things that are supposed to crash my Discord, but none of them have worked.
Can you tell him not to whilst we're playing our game?
Oh, they're videos that you have to play, so I'm just not
Okay.
playing them.
That's alright.
Don't even worry about it. I have to initiate them to play for them to work because it's basically a macro that it's a piece of. Goes breaks it, but it doesn't work. So
Good. Alright, well,
yeah, we're good.
we're all here. Looks like we're still potentially waiting for people to get into Foundry.
Yeah.
Loading up now.
Coolio. Alright, I guess whilst people are getting loaded up into Foundry, let us start.
Because none of them worked. It's great.
Let us start the game of D&D. Hold on. I have things to fix real quick. There we go. Let us start today's session of Order of Mamoru. Session 3, Episode 3. A Sundered Soul. The recruits, they ventured northward, they found themselves in a difficult situation as they explored the plagued lands, blighted by necrotic life force. You see, the party, they sought the origin, but perhaps they did not expect to be in for such a difficult, inconvenient encounter with the Blighted. Not only her, but her small force of animals, beasts, that were also plagued, that were also blighted. The party, after some time, the recruits they were able to dispatch of these beasts, and eventually the woman herself. And they found a horn, seemingly torn asunder from wherever it came from, whether it be a beast, fiend, or devil, or demon, whatever it is, it didn't look like it left it by choice. The party were able to destroy this horn, scattering it into thousands of small pieces. They returned the dust of the horn and advised the Order, the daimyo, of the threats that could still linger if we do not investigate, research, and that is what will be done. Over the next course of a year, once again you sit in lessons, you learn the sort of the culture and the discipline of what is to come with being a Mamoru. You learn intricate details like no one is to enter the temple. That isn't a Mamoru, unless they are sort of invited in formally by the Mamoru. The only exception to this is the daimyo, of course. And you do get the odd sort of fanatic over the next course of the year who is just a person of the city, and they come over looking to sort of lay their eyes upon the katana, or even just the order itself, and the old order sort of take a hand in sort of controlling the situation, whether it is sort of first of all speaking to the person and understanding and learning who they are, and then potentially inviting them in to gaze upon the katana, or whether they are to send them away. You once again learn about the threats, the different demons and devils that scatter this land, the Vroks that sometimes scatter the sky further northward, and some of the more unique demons. But the next year is a relatively quiet one. You begin to hear word and lessons, I guess, of what has unfolded in terms of the plains to the north, in terms of the plague and blighted land. Clerics of Kriya begin to attempt to combat the blight, the plague, and they are able to slow it, but not able to stop it, or preferably return it back to its original form. Even the land that you have burnt and set aflame returned as it grew and grew back into its plagued form. they begin to research the requirements, the materials that these clerics would require to combat such things. The general consensus is that there's a requirement of rare ingredients, a couple of rare materials. But that is all you know. You don't know what they are or whether you're going to be called upon. Today is like any other day. You finish up your training, whether it be your teachings, your educational lessons, or whether it be your physical training in the fields of Nara. All you know is that the old Mamoru have travelled northwestward. And so you are left, for once, without the guidance of your order. And it is, at this point, it is a sort of warm, light evening. The orange hue of the sun as it begins to set, setting upon the temple as you return back from the fields. As you get there, you notice another group there. Now, Darshana, you immediately recognize Kiyoshi, who is there.
Damn it.
As you sort of turn the corner, there's a waterfall. There's a sort of ascended and lifted area to your right where the river falls off into the water that surrounds the temple. And Kiyoshi himself is sat on the edge, sort of where the lake is, where the river and the small waterfall is. Kiyoshi sat there on the edge, sort of sitting and seemingly talking to a dwarf who is adorned in some rather heavy armor with a large weapon on his back. And there is also quite a slender, looks like an elf with this sort of black, wet hair that is on top of the waterfall, and as you sort of turn the corner, she dives into the lake, making a large splash as she does so. But yeah, you return to the temple. As you're sort of walking down the path, you see, as I say, Kiyoshi, and out of the corner of the eye, he does spot you, Darshana. And as he spots you, there's like this crawl of a smile there. But then he very quickly shifts his head and turns back to the dwarf.
The moment she sees it, she's just now growling under her breath. Grumbling.
As you do this, Sorry, Rest?
Would we recognize these as other recruits, right?
Yes, you've seen these sort of on the field practicing. As I say, there would have been moments where you would have seen them sort of pulled off to do their request. At this point, they've likely had multiple, much like yourself. So yeah, you would understand that these are indeed other recruits. But as you're sort of walking down the road, the dwarf sort of nigh on just straight up points at you as you're approaching. And he's going to move to cut you off, not in like an aggressive way, but in a greeting type way. He just says,
Giovanna raises her hand softly and just waves lightly.
he sort of waves and just says, "Hello, we have, all of us, including you, have been left with the responsibility of the temple for the period that the order has gone. Unfortunately, we are the only recruits left. You, your group, and ours. And he sort of gestures back to the direction of Kiyoshi and the elf that is currently swimming in the lake.
As in the others are dead, or hold on. As in the others are dead, or you are just the last remaining candidates.
I believe that they have indeed passed, died.
And the rest of your group? I'll look around, see only 3 of them.
Yes, there's one around the corner. She's staring off into the distance, feeling sorry for herself, most likely. And, there's one will be around here, indeed. There's one somewhere around here. She'll be hiding in a bush, more like.
Also.
Indeed. But I guess it is somewhat productive for us to get to know one another to a certain degree. We are not to speak of our requests and the missions that we have been put on, but there is nothing stopping us from understanding each other, learning about one another. So I'll go first. My name is Gissy.
I'm Levanda.
I am Balshor. A pleasure.
Wow, you are enthusiastic.
Indeed, he is.
Christ. I just reach out to shake his hand.
Yeah, he
Or
will.
is that not very appropriate? I just bow, I guess.
I mean, he held his hand up.
Okay, so I'd shake his hand.
Yeah, he shakes your hand. And there is a slight bow there when he grabs your hand, and he nods his head a little bit. And, what about that one? And he sort of gestures to the blue-scaled dragonborn.
People usually call me Ziggy, so you can as well.
Ziggy, well, pleasure to formally meet you all. It feels like over the last course of the last couple of years, there's been this shall we, shan't we type of deal in terms of building any form of connection or friendship with the other recruits. Kiyoshi has suggested against it, and he sort of gestures over to the human male on the corner, who is again just sitting on the edge, sort of feet in the lake. But I prefer a different approach.
Is he looking at us, or Kyoshi, that is?
He's sort of sat in a position where he's able to sort of look over his shoulder a little bit and look over in your direction. And he is doing that.
Shauna's
Levanda
openly
would,
glaring at him.
Levanda would look at Kyoshi and just give him a soft wave with her left hand.
I
Now she's
imagine
glaring at Leovanda. How dare you?
it would be easier for Rice to notice this, given how perceptive he is. So
Mhm.
just gonna whisper to Deshana, "What's your deal with that Kyoshi?
He's an idiot. He's
Wanna push him into the lake?"
she just kind of turns and smiles at him, but doesn't say anything. I shouldn't. You say, but it's a complicated. God damn it! She's just gonna walk past, just nod at the dwarf, and then just walk past to go find a seat.
Okay, so you're not pushing him into the water?
Oh.
Not yet.
No,
Anyways.
I'm not. Not
Okay.
yet. Let's see what he says.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to walk to the edge. There's plenty of room to sit. What is Darshana's passive perception?
12.
12? Okay, you don't see this. Never mind. You don't see anything.
Okay. It's disconcerting. I mean, if it's Kyoshi doing something, she'd still be glaring at him as she walked past.
No, it's nothing like that.
Okay.
As I said, there's a party member hidden in a bush somewhere, but you do not see them.
Oh no, I've completely forgotten about that party member. I'm highly
Yeah.
focused on Kyoshi.
As you walk by and sit down, and you you've done it with the token, so I assume you mean to do this. You've sort of sat sort of close enough to him to notify that you are there, but you've moved far enough away to make it like an awkward encounter almost.
Yes. Yes.
And he's just going to sort of look over his shoulder and just say, "Well, why have you sat all the way over there?
The water's nice.
Specifically
here.
over there? Okay, right.
Yes.
Interesting. What is... Never mind.
Just spit it out.
What's the deal?
With what?
With you?
Turn to him and be like, the hell?
He's going to shake his head. He's going to shake his head and just push himself into the lake. As he has a little swim around himself.
Would Levanda see this one here?
Yeah, she's just chilling
Yeah.
in the water. Yeah.
Would she in the water notice Levanda as well?
Yeah, she's sort of doing a little backstroke at the moment, and she sort of waves a couple of fingers towards you.
Levanda would return the wave with a slight with her head tilted slightly to the side.
As you get a little bit closer, roll a nature check for me, please.
Okay. That was the flattest roll I could ever have done.
Yeah, as you look at her, she is of elven descent. She looks to be a sea elf of some kind. And you can see that she's sort of just like taking in the water, allowing it to envelop her to a certain degree. Yeah.
She calls out, "Like the water, don't you?"
Whilst her head's underwater, she sort of nods and smiles, and she's going to push herself up so she can you can properly see each other. And she says, "Indeed, bit of a comfort place for me, I guess. What's your name?"
Levanda. She gives a slight bow.
Umi. And she does an awkward, as she's sort of floating there in the lake. She tries to bow, but it's awkward. It's difficult. She's self-aware of it though. She's not making a fool of herself in any way. And she
Levanda
says,
laughs softly, just amused.
"Umi, do you want to come in?"
I shall. Hold on. I'm losing my voice. I shall. And she sets some of her heaviest gear down and hops into the water.
Jump into the water again. Psh, splash as the water ripples, and Umi gets sort of pushed away a little bit as the ripples spread out a little bit towards her, and she smiles.
Quite pleasant. Mana just moves a little bit.
What is Balshor, Rice, and Ziggy doing?
And she's just
As
taking a position to float on her back.
All right.
as they leave to do their thing, I turn back to
Socialite.
Kisei. Yes, I don't believe in that, but Valshor will turn to Gisei and just say, "Well, we are competitors for this honorary title.
Yes.
By no means, I think, makes us rivals.
I think
I'd be honored to get to know you all more."
I think the idea of us being rivals would be a counterintuitive way of approaching this whole situation. I see you as friends, allies.
I would tend to agree. Rice gets out his smoking rolls, offers one to Gisei,
Oh,
lights one up.
perfect, yes. And he sort of reaches his hand out to take whatever it is you're offering.
It's just a herbal join. But yeah, non mind altering.
Oh, huh. Well, perhaps for another day. Huh? And he sort of puts it in his mouth, but he has nothing to light it with, so he just sort of.
I gave him a flame. Yeah.
Thank you. I can't help but find myself curious. How have you handled your requests without diving into too much detail, of course?
They have been challenging, but we have overcame working together.
Of course. Yes, we have found ours challenging as well, but apparently not as challenging as the other groups. Thankfully, they most likely find themselves in the company of Kriya now. Not all bad, I suppose.
Yes, they did die serving a noble purpose.
I
hope they rest.
I have not seen many of your kind around, and he sort of looks over to Ziggy. Curious, Dragonborn being here to protect the sword with the souls of dragons in. Curious,
Yeah, I guess you could say so. I mean, those dragons were way before my time, so.
Oh, so you weren't, birthed by them?
Last time I checked, my mom wasn't like a full-on dragon, so I'd have to say no.
My understanding of Dragonborn is, well, limited. The name would suggest that you are born of dragons, but apparently not.
It's one of life's great mysteries.
Indeed. Shall we sit? And he sort of gestures to the edge of the lake.
Certainly, I would love to join you.
Meanwhile, the river is an active, entertaining place as people are just swimming around, chilling in the water. It's
I'll scan the bushes.
what is? I guess I'll ask first. What is your passive perception? Because you might just
19.
19. Yeah, you spot her. There's what looks like a ranger on the far side here. She's sort of just chilling in the bush. She's constructed the bush in such a way that some of it has attached to her. There's just branches coming off her and stuff. Perhaps more amazingly, is beside her is a very large lion that she is apparently friends with, as she is like feeding it something. You can't quite tell what it is, but she's feeding it, she's petting it, and they're just chilling in a huge bush under a tree.
So not hiding, just chilling in a bush.
Yeah, they're not necessarily hiding. They've just became
Okay.
part of the bush.
Gonna be confusing because it's a tiger.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Yvonne would kind of be scanning just the general area, seeing if there's anyone else, since Kisa had implied that there were others. Just trying to figure out if she can see anybody else. I feel like. Okay.
Roll a perception check. I will say they're just standing on the edge.
Okay, so they would be pretty visible.
Yeah. You also see the ranger in the bush as you sort of have a sort of scry around from your location. You see the archer and her pet, if you can call it that. And then as I say, there is a
Teaches swim on over real quick.
and
Wait.
just as a note, there is a tiefling on the edge here who's just standing there. She's leaning on a large greatsword. She's just chilling. and she's likely the one that you were told would be staring off in the distance, because that's exactly what she's doing as she stares over the small waterfall over towards where the sun is setting.
How common are tieflings in Zhengli?
Quite common, I thought, correct?
Yeah, they're not like you're not going to see them around every corner, but you would have seen multiple in your lifetime.
So they're not associated with the demonic origins
No.
or abyssal origins. Okay.
In the world, as you probably know, but I guess just as a note, tieflings originate from Dimmer, who brought them to this plane of existence. So slightly different origins in terms of their where they came from. Generally speaking, no one really knows the true depths of where a tiefling comes from, or where they were sort of quote unquote birthed from. Tieflings of other continents, Almuru, for example, are generally seen as sort of innately evil. The world has, or at least the countries there, have sort of painted this picture of them. But other places in the world, they live usually quite peaceful and normal lives. And Zhengli is one of those places.
Okay.
But yeah, Livanda,
Yeah,
you
Yeah, I was
swim
gonna
over.
say, she would call out and just, hello.
Hi. Yes?
Nothing. Just a greeting. And at that point, Anda would fly and land on her head.
Yeah.
And like
And
tweet back, and then like just tweet in what's it called, in their general direction.
you see the face of the woman. There's certainly an awkward look towards you, but as soon as a bird shows up, there's a little bit more comfort that envelops the face, and she looks towards Ander and sort of smiles and name?
My name is Anda, and I am Livanda.
Oh yes, I am Aite. She sort of bows. And this is
Livanda like bows her head.
This is Emoto, and she ruffles the head of the large beast sat beside her.
Is this area climbable? Like, could I climb back up onto it,
Yeah.
or would that be difficult?
No,
Yeah.
you-
Okay. So she quickly climbs up, right about, keeping a distance out of respect and not wanting to make anybody uncomfortable.
She as I said, she sat down, sort of cross-legged, and as you come up, she sort of just swivels around on her arse, basically, as she turns towards you, and once again and bows and just says, "You like water? I don't."
Gets a bit of the surface layer of water off, and turns to sit down next, nearby. Well, I much prefer it over fire. She and she and her left, and she rolls her left shoulder lightly.
Oh. Livanda?
Yeah.
Oh, you cut off at the end there.
Oh, sorry.
I heard that you
She
rolled your left shoulder.
she kind of rolls her left shoulder, bringing slight attention to the scar. Not like, hey, look at this, but like, this is a thing.
She does not pick up on it. She just sort of looks back to Emoto and back to Ander and where are you going?
Sorry.
Never mind.
Sorry.
Never mind.
That's alright. How did you meet your Emoto, you said?
Yes. He was scared. So was I. And we were lost. Not together, just in the same place, and showed me comfort, protection, and I showed him the same, and we were able to find our way home, I guess.
I understand that. Fear is something we both have shared. She looks up at Anda and then motions to the scar in her arm. Though being lost was not so much what hurt us.
Fire.
And then she nods lightly and rolls her shoulder again, seemingly to be some sort of just a nervous reaction somewhat to the mention of it.
She nods and ours was water, but we found each other in it, so could be worse.
Indeed. The best thing is you have each other.
Indeed, yes. As with you and Anda. It's at about this point, you begin to hear this sort of, well, I guess it's not what you hear, it's what you don't hear. There's this silence that envelops the area. A silence of wildlife, a silence of the bustling city to not too far away from you. It stops. And then there's a few screams before, almost at the same time, you hear the voice of a familiar figure, the father that you have all helped previously, Akuma Kiyomi, as he runs down the path towards the temple, basically just shouting, "Help! Help me!" as he makes his way down. He's not a quick walker or a quick runner, but he does sort of get to about here when, at this point, you all see him, you all hear him. What do you all wish to do?
Sean is going to run over and try and jump onto the actual bridge.
Easily done. With someone of your dexterous nature, you're able to sort of run across the bit of dirt there and use the wall and the railing of the bridge and just vault over. As you approach, you see that he is carrying the form of his son in his arms.
Balshor is
try and
going
help
around
him.
to the door.
Alrighty. You should be able to open the door and get through.
So
Anda would stand and... Oh, you're saying Rice?
yeah, so when you mentioned the silence thing, would Rice pick up on that? It's very similar to the silence that we encountered at this guy's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we're at that house, I did ask, but this is not normal for the demonic invasion for everything to go silent.
It's
right?
not something
This
that
was new.
It's not something that you've experienced before. It's not to
Right,
say
but
that
I did at his house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's almost instantaneous as well. So you hear the silence, and then maybe as a moment goes by, and then you begin to hear the shouts and screams of Akuma, and then you obviously see him running down the path.
How high is the temple?
The temple itself, to get onto the roof, is maybe 20 foot. Maybe he's 25. Obviously, the roof itself climbs quite a lot taller than that, but to get onto it would be that height.
Yeah, I think Rice is gonna try to get up and have a look around.
Okay. Make a. Wait. Do you have ability to climb? No, that's a different rogue thing, right?
Yeah, that's not my subclass.
Yeah. Make an athletics check. There's easier parts to climb, so you'll be able to get up it. It's not a difficult DC, so.
Right. I guess acrobatics is not really appropriate for this.
Not really.
Oh.
But a 17
you
will
have
easily
to.
do it. As you climb up the corner of the temple, you are able to grab a hold of the roof, which is sort of an overhang slightly. So you have to sort of kip up and grab the roof, and then basically just pull yourself up with your upper body strength, which apparently you have with that athletics check at the very least. And you get on top of the building. Roll a perception check to have a look around.
Yeah, it doesn't look great when he climbs up. Because he's not, like, he's a bit chubby and average complexion, so it kind of looks like he's piling over to the top of the roof. Miraculously pulling himself up.
The adrenaline.
Ooh,
Jesus.
26.
Wow.
As you look around, you don't see anything where he came from. Presumably, he followed the
Yeah,
path down. What you see, though, is you see movement in the woods to your, I guess, on the map as we look at it, to the right, to the east. You can't... It's difficult to see because the trees are so thick, and it's difficult to see through the the leaves and branches. But you do see movement. Unfortunately, I don't have a roof overlay for this, so I can just move you here, and we'll.
Yeah, I'll be moving my way to the other side to get a better look, and I'll just say that might be something in the forest, in the trees.
And as you say that and get a bit closer on the corner, you sort of look through, crouching down a little bit just to try and get your line of sight a little bit better. You do see an individual. They are adorned in a blue robe. They have this sort of fiery red hair. And they look to be holding magic in their hand. Immediately, it stands out to you as they sort of focus upon it. They're running, and they have something in their hand, which is sort of giving off this faint glow.
Okay.
And you also see spine devils flying through the trees as well. I would like everyone to roll initiative.
11? I'll take it. Compared
That's
to my last
painful
few
initiative.
initiatives.
Mine hurts.
The fuck was that?
Oh, nothing.
It's fear. Fear. That's what it was.
Or unadulterated
And I'm putting the fear of career into our hearts.
I mean, you do
Career, please
have to
help.
come all the way round, technically, to get here.
Yeah, how do you think I feel about
Oh,
it?
yeah. I mean, I feel sorry for Gizzy, because Gizzy is not in a good place. Gizzy will have to make a bit of a run. Alright, so... with
Yoshi
that
and
said-
Umi, though, are both in the water.
Yeah. Okay, with that said... Right, as I say, you see this individual. Here they are here on the map. As I say, they're running forward, sort of almost as if they're about to project something out of their hand. But before they do, you obviously shout out, claiming a threat. Dashana, what do you wish to do?
Okay. Sorry. I just disappeared for a second, so my voice cut out. She's just gonna yell, Ziggy, Balshor, help me here! And then we'll probably try and help him get inside the temple.
Okay.
Run away! We're
it'll-
slow in this heavy ass armor.
You can basically move them along. It's going to be half movement for you though, because you're basically pulling along another person on your turn. So you can do it. It'll just be half of your movement.
Yeah, okay. So I have, oh dear, my movement speed again.
Oh, I don't think I updated people's foundry sheets. I'll do that whilst you're doing things. I think your movement speed's like 55 or something. It might even be more.
I'm just trying to remember where the 5 at.
Are you on D&D Beyond?
Yeah.
Someone
Should be
help?
on the monk chart.
No.
Pardon?
Okay. I'll do it. It should be along. It should be along the top somewhere. Your movement speed.
Oh yeah, 55 feet. Yeah,
There we go.
Yep, just saw it when you said the top. I literally saw it. Yeah.
So yeah, you can essentially move 25 feet. And I'll move. as
Get him onto the
quickly.
bridge.
Yeah. Easily done. Anything else on your turn? You still
No,
technically
that
have
was
your.
literally remarkable.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just want to get him inside. So anything that would do that, she's just gonna focus on that.
Cool. Reist, you do see a spine devil fly out of the trees over the river, just to your right here. As they come out, it's as far as they can get, but they do look like they're flying up towards you. I guess, actually, I'm being presumptuous here. Would you have been trying to be stealthy up there?
Well, I'm assuming that either I'm trying to be like, I either was trying to be stealthy, or I would have been able to preempt some of their actions. So let's say I was stealthy. I don't know.
Roll a stealth check for me, just for the sake of it. Let's see if they even know you're there. Okay, yeah, they are not going towards you. They are still flying in a similar direction. Can't remember where I got them to, so I'll just move them here. But they are not flying up towards you. They are flying low to the ground, looking to go towards the bridge. The eyes of the group. Rice, you see another individual coming out, blade drawn. They look much more martial in their approach. They don't seem to be any form of spellcaster, perhaps. But, you've encountered many individuals who are looking to be non-spellcasters, but are. They're going to use their action to dash as they sort of dash along towards the path here. They're moving quickly and efficiently. Umi, who fortunately is pretty good at swimming, is going to swim over to the edge here and is going to use her action to dash and clamber up. Let's just see in the difficulty of battle whether she's able to do so without issue. Yep, it's a natural 19 for her roll. She's able to get up, and she's going to stand here on the path to block the bridge in case anything approaches. Gizzy, on the other hand, who is far away, is going to make the same path that Ziggy and Balshor made originally, which was through the temple. He has a 50-foot dash speed, so that's going to get him here. As he's running out, he pulls out his great sword. Actually, no, sorry, his warhammer, and is running towards in the direction of Ziggy and Balshor. All right. It's at this point, Darshana, as you're sort of scurrying across towards the bridge with Akuma, out of the corner of your eye, you see something appear as an attack is attempted on Akuma from an invisible imp as it reappears as he attacks.
So just to clarify, I would have picked up his son so that he could run. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, you said he had the form of his son with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming he was unconscious.
Unconscious or dead?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whatever. But yeah, continue.
I don't think he would have.
I don't know if he would have let go, but I'm just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have.
Go for it.
Nevertheless, and he rolled the imp rolled 2 9s and misses amazingly. Great. With that said, Rice, it is your turn. You are presumably hidden as you find yourself on top of the roof.
I'm going to try to get a sense of the spellcaster guy and attempt insightful fighting on him, which
Alright.
is a contested.
Is that... I always get this mixed up. Is this insight or is this
I roll insight against your deception.
Yeah, right, cool.
So my insight is
18.
would be better.
It was close. He rolled a 16, so he fails.
Okay, and I will not gonna run out all the way over there, so I will take a shot from the roof, and you tell me if it's advantage or not.
It would be with advantage.
Awesome. Okay, shot. Assuming that hits.
Yeah, it does.
Right, and my buffed sneak attack from Insightful.
Oh, that's a lot of dice.
Okay. So that is 41 points of damage.
The one.
As you let loose the crossbow, it sort of soars through the trees, clipping a few branches, but just tearing them from the tree that it originates from, and it strikes the guy in the shoulder as he sort of lets loose the spell that he was conjuring in his hand. He looks up towards through the tree. You can see his eyes catch yours. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna retreat up the roof to kind of break line of sight with him, and perhaps discourage anybody from trying to follow me just now. Yeah.
So are you
So
going?
just yeah.
Are you going further into the center of the roof?
Yes, like 15 feet or
Okay.
something towards the center of the roof.
I can either leave you there and we'll just play it theater of the mind,
Well,
or we can move you 15 feet in and you'll not be able to see the battlefield is all.
I would like to see the battlefield.
Okay, so let's just leave you there.
Because it's incredibly boring to not be able to
Yeah,
see.
if you're just looking at the inside of a building. I will drop a little square, so just measure out 15 feet for me for a second, where you would
Just
have wanted to go.
Over here-ish, yeah.
I've drawn a little square to indicate where you are.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah, you broke line of eye contact for the most of it. There may be a position where you could get to if you really wanted to spot you, but
yeah, that's what I'm counting on. He has to get some reposition, get close to get away from everybody else.
With that said, it is over to Kiyoshi, who is also in the water. Going to step up onto the land here. And we'll use a key point to use Step of the Wind. And he's just going to run along and jump. His jump distance is doubled. And he just sort of lands right next to you, Darshana. I've not been... How much movement was this? Okay, there's going to be an action involved here as well. So he will... He will get here. He cannot do anything, but he is at the very least looking to attempt to protect this old man that he's never met before in his life. All right, Netsu, the quiet tiefling, looks to be some sort of paladin or maybe he's even a cleric of Kriya. As she steps forward, she's going to get into this position here and just says, "Clear. Protect me. Protect my allies." And she places her hands together and she presses them out as I push my microphone away. She presses them out and she is going to cast a guiding bolt against the... Actually, no, she'll just use a firebolt against the imp. That is attempting to assault the old man, Akuma. That is a 16 to hit, which is a hit for 8 points of damage. Actually, let me just double check their resistances. Okay. Well, that's what you get for not checking. They're immune to fire. As the fire hits, it takes no effect. She kicks the ground.
Should have listened in her class.
Yeah, she is too busy staring off into the distance. That is unfortunately her turn. Alright, A few things are moving. Kiyoshi is about to be assaulted by an invisible creature.
Take that.
That is a 22 to hit, which is going to hit for 6 points of damage to Kiyoshi. As the stinger of the imp pierces the sort of back of Kiyoshi as he turns to look to the other imp. He turns and sort of pushes it away, but he is hit by it, unfortunately. Umi is the next person to be attacked. That is a dirty 20 to hit, and that is 4 points. Another Spine Devil flies out of the trees. It is going to use its action to dash and get 80 feet. It's going to get right up into Balshor's face as it flies towards the temple. Aite is sort of looking at the situation here, is going to pull her longbow out and step up, not really standing, but sort of almost kneeling down, and is going to take aim towards the Spine Devil that is approaching Balshor. That is going to be 2 longbow attacks against it. Oh, that's a natural 19. The first Spine Devil, with 1 strike as the bow hits Balshor, you see the arrow strike it, and then this sort of small implosion within of force damage as it sort of rips the chest apart. That Spine Devil falling to the ground, into the water.
Basho's looking around confused.
Yeah, Balshor probably doesn't see Aite sort of just chilling there.
His perception is terrible.
And then she'll take the second attack against the imp that attacked Akuma. That's a natural 20.
Damn, she got skills.
That is more
Bye-bye,
than enough. That is more than enough to kill the imp as the imp falls again to the ground, onto the dirt, onto the edge of the river. That is Aite's turn, and it is over to you, Ziggy.
Alright. Alright, seeing all this chaos, I will make sure about right there. Let's see. Yeah, I'll stay right here and just sort of take a protective stance for Akuma.
Okay. Are you
And, just-
holding an action?
Yeah, if something comes near, I'm gonna fucking hit it with a sword.
Okay.
More specifically, if
But-
an imp appears,
Yeah,
more
but
like
I'm be on partial escort duty.
Alrighty. Very nice. Balshor.
okay. Looking around, it's getting kind of cramped, and I can't really get to
Come up.
that imp very easily. So I am going to
So I will say,
cast.
just as a note, Darshana and Akuma are most likely just taking up 1 space, just due to the nature of how things are at the moment, because she's sort of helping him along. I imagine she's sort of either his arms around her shoulder or she's sort of pushing him along type of thing. Probably the latter. So you can get through the bridge situation easy enough if you wanted to get around Darshana and around Ziggy.
I'm
Ziggy
sure
can
that
get
imp's
past
about
me,
to
you
die,
can.
and I'm just waiting for more to show up. But for
Alright.
the time being, I will cast Bless at the 2nd level,
Ooh.
and I will affect Ziggy, Darshana, Umi, and Netsu.
Ziggy, Darshana, Umi, and Netsu. Alright, bold choice. Buffing the person who didn't know that fire was Useless against imps. But continue.
Hey, we all have
Well,
our bad
I-
days.
I did the same thing the other day, okay?
What does bless do?
You get a D4. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's a D4 on your attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks.
No, not
Okay.
ability checks.
Are you sure?
99%.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah,
Apologies.
it's all good. So yeah, extra D4 to saving throws and attack rolls. Anything else? Or you want to move at all, or you happy staying there?
Just double checking. Nothing I really want to do with my bonus action, so yeah, that'll be it for me too. I'm gonna hold the line here.
Alrighty.
Kind of get a handle on things first.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Another individual comes running out of the trees, seemingly equipped with this sort of burning blade as he pulls it out. He is going to use a spell. Okay. He's going to use, well, it's a magical feature, not a spell. He's going to use Implode. It's a 20-foot radius. Let me just draw this out. Sure, approximately there.
Yikes.
I'm going to need everyone in that radius there to roll a Constitution saving throw. That will be Balshor, Darshana, and Ziggy, as well, of course, as the NPCs.
And then,
Everyone around Ziggy gets
yeah.
Zora.
gets a +2. And
Because Paladin.
Yes, and
Dex save?
I was just looking at something else.
Con save.
Yeah. They also have a resistance to damage from spells.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have
What?
Aura of Warding.
Nice.
Okay. Akuma rolled terrible.
Yikes.
Okay, so did you two.
What about
We did
his
it.
son? How did he roll?
Who, sorry?
Akuma's son.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Oh no.
Not something for you to stress about.
Already lost his daughter.
Um,
Oh, poor guy.
let me double check the wording, because this imp might be dead. I don't think it distinguishes between... I think it's just everyone in that area. Implode. Each creature. So the imp needs to rule as well. It's not going to matter either way. Okay, so... anyone who rolled below a 15 takes 19 points of damage. Anyone who rolled above a 15 takes half, I believe. Let me double check that.
Could be about 9 then, right?
Nope. You don't take any. However, those who failed are knocked prone. Balshor, you are knocked prone. Ziggy, you are knocked prone. And Akuma is knocked prone.
Because I'm holding him up, would he get a bit of help on that one, or would I just lose my grip on him?
Yeah, you would lose his grip. This isn't like yeah, this is as I say, a magical effect, so it's more so if it was like an earthquake, then maybe, but because of the magical effect, it's just basically pushed him down to the earth. So Ziggy is prone, Balshor is prone, Akuma is prone. I believe that's all that failed, right? Oh, and did you really just fail your con save?
I think so.
You did.
I'm wondering if it's rolling the 4s though again.
What do you mean?
My-
It rolled 4s, you rolled 2 4s.
I'm
Oh.
concerned about it because my computer did a thing where all my pages refreshed, and
Yeah. I see what you
really
mean.
Annoying.
Try rolling another save for me, like with advantage again, because if it's another 2 9s, then that is suspicious.
I did re-roll. I did refresh the
Oh.
Okay, now it's different. I did refresh the D&D Beyond page now.
That's completely different. You got a
I
15, not
can't
13
prove
roll.
if it works. If it was broken or
Well,
not. If that was
well-
just my.
We'll take the second roll. We'll take the second bunch of rolls because the double 9s is very suspicious. Sorry, was it Ziggy? Did Ziggy have Bless? Because I started taking it off. It was
Yes.
Ziggy, Umi, Netsuo,
Darshana.
and Darshana. There we go. Okay. Alright. Hopefully you're no longer plagued by 9s. I don't think anyone else failed their con save, so that's it. Everyone else took no damage and was able to stay up. That is that guy's turn.
Adam, I just
mhm.
want to bring this up really fast. You mentioned altering stuff in Foundry as well. Luvanda still has a quarterstaff.
Yeah, I'm trying to update everyone's character sheets as we go, so I'll get to it.
I
It'll
just
take a moment.
I just wanted to bring your attention to it so you were aware. That's all.
Yeah, like I say, I'm getting to it.
Take your time. No worries.
Another spine devil is going to reveal itself through the woods. It will dash its 80 feet with its action. That's as far as it can get, and all it can do. Another spine devil will reveal itself out of the woods, and also run, fly 80 feet. Alright. Another attack on Akuma. Ziggy, you are going to get an attack of opportunity because of your held action.
Mhm.
But it does get its attack off because obviously it's invisible beforehand. So that is another 6 points of damage to Akuma as it sort of pierces him as he lies down on the ground. Your attack does hit it though.
All right.
And 12 is exactly enough to take it down as it sort of stings into Akuma and appears before you. Your reactions just kick in, slash, you knock it to the ground beside the other one. Oop, that was the wrong button. There we go. Another spine devil is approaching. It's going to use action to get all the way up here. It is getting congested in that area, but hey ho. Alrighty. Now the one that Reist attacked and hurt quite a lot. Doesn't have the thing that I thought he might have. That's unfortunate for him. Okay, he's just going to run up 30 feet as far as movement will allow. Pull his katana. And... oh, that's a range of 120 feet.
Oh, did anyone with Bless actually take the 1d4 for their saving throw?
It wouldn't have mattered.
Okay.
Well, 10 or lower.
Yeah. Is going to look towards Netsu. Let me just roll a dice, see if we can actually see. No, cannot see Reist on top of the roof. So yeah, he's going to look towards Netsu. Is it Netsu? Yeah. She used magic to a degree. So yeah, this guy's going to target Netsu, and as he sort of looks, he unleashes that arcane magic, which almost looks like sort of leaves of flame that just sort of very slowly approach Netsu the tiefling. She's going to have to roll a... What is it? Intelligence saving throw. Oh, she rolled bad. Even with a D4, it's not going to help. That is going to be 17 points of damage to her. And she's stunned. Alrighty. With that said, Leovander, it is your turn.
Alrighty, well, can't do too much from here, so... gonna have to figure out a way to get... Pretty sure I can... Should be able to... Something like this, dash along the edge. There's 50 right there, and 60. Using your action to dash. And then just gonna wait here, I guess.
Alrighty.
Not much able to do here.
You've still got your bonus.
Everything's too far away. Yep.
Which
But I am going to.
You can use for like Hunter's Mark if you wanted to.
Yep. But for now, there's quite a lot of people ahead of me, so
Fair.
I want to cast Hunter's Mark and not have anything to kill with it. So, gonna go ahead and hold for now.
Alrighty.
End my turn.
Alrighty. Your inventory is now updated, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Alright. This guy who rolled a 0 on his initiative, pretty good, is also, as you may expect, coming out of the woods. We'll move 30 feet up. This guy is going to 60 feet. Let's leave Vander in range. Oh, that is the wrong tool.
Ah,
65. Wow, okay. That is unfortunate for him. This fire genasi, it seems. You know what? He's got to cast Hunter's Mark on Leovander.
Oh, you fuck!
Udo reverse card.
Indeed.
And then with their heavy crossbow is going to attack towards you, Leovander. They're not very good with it, as the bolt fires off over you, over towards the waterfall, missing completely. That is his turn. Good one, mate.
Sixth of a middle finger in response.
Alright, Darshana.
Seeing that we're basically getting blocked in here by a bunch of stuff, and that everyone's been knocked prone, Leovander. I'm mixing my character up with yours. This is great. Darshana is going. Just trying to steal someone else's character. It's fine.
Honestly, how could you?
Yeah, I
You're
know.
jealous.
Truly, you have the bird. I can't help it. Darshana is going to move up, and she's gonna try and hit some stuff. So she's just gonna move in front of them. Ziggy,
Alright. Mhm.
assuming that the old man can probably take care of himself, the 20 feet need to get into the building.
Yeah.
He's
What
fine.
could happen in 20 feet?
It's true.
True. Well, it's also going to happen in 5 feet if I don't kill some stuff that could kill him. So, yep, she's gonna hit some stuff.
Alright.
As she is wont to do. So she's
what-
gonna aim for this one. Did that
The
work?
Spine Devil, yeah?
Yeah, that one first. First hit, and then the imp with the second likely.
Okay.
Just whack whack. 1, 2.
Oh, well. So the
That worked.
first one misses with a natural 1 as you hit towards the Spine Devil, completely missing. However, the second one, as you strike towards it with the quarterstaff, does hit the imp. Remind me, you wield it with 2 hands, yeah?
It's two-handed, yeah.
Yep.
Unless I say otherwise, it's going to be
Yeah.
two-handed. I'll have to remind you beforehand. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's just a lot to remember over the week. As you sort of strike out with the second attack towards the imp, you knock it straight out the air as it falls down, hitting into the sort of sacred statues of the temple, landing onto the ground. You still have your bonus action as well?
Yep. She is going to throw her quarterstaff over her back quickly and hit this thing in the face.
Alrighty. A 12 just hits for 8 points of damage. As you sort of hold the quarterstaff out to the side and then go for the punch, you strike the spine devil. It still stands. You remember from last time that these are certainly more heartier than the imp, so take a little bit more of a beating, but yeah, it is looking hurt before you.
Just glare at it menacingly while nodding at... Is Kiyoshi still standing?
Yeah.
She'll nod at him then, being the only person who managed not to fall over, apparently.
He'll give you a very slight nod.
Yeah, that's fine. She probably only gave him the tiniest one anyway.
Yeah.
Good on you for staying standing, idiot.
This spine devil is going to attempt to fly over to, and it can, to Reist, so I'm just going to move it here. Would have
Yep.
used 25 feet of its movement, though.
Sure.
And it is going to go in for the multi-attack of its bite attack, first of all, so let's go with that. I imagine a 6 misses,
Yep.
and then with its fork attack, that is going to be 2 attacks. Sorry, 1 attack. That is a 9 to hit, so that misses as well. It does have the flyby ability, so it is able to fly away without provoking attack of opportunity. As it sort of comes in and goes for the bite and then tries to prod you, and you just deftly dodge out the way easily enough. It basically shits itself and is going to... Let me work this out a second. So use 25 feet to get there, and then what's its movement speed? Okay, so it has 15 feet left, so it flies 15 feet away over to here. Still within range, it doesn't like dive down towards the river or anything. You can still very easily see it. That is its turn. This guy back here is going to... he's looking to approach Leovander. Actually, I think this guy has a little bit extra movement. Yeah, has 5 feet. And Leovander, as he begins to run towards you, he disappears, turning invisible. You see some of the bush sort of press out the way as he moves past it, but he is invisible. Umi. Is going to step here and with her quarterstaff strike towards the actually, would she even have it? No, I don't think she would. So she's going to go for the unarmed strikes towards the spine devil. That is a 16 to hit first. That's a hit. And then for the second attack. Oh no, she doesn't actually get second attacks, does she? She gets something else. This is... So it needs to roll a dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone. It saves. As she punches it, there's this sort of impression of air released from the hand, and as it sort of takes the strike, it sort of just chills there. It doesn't get knocked down to the ground or anything. Gizzy, who is maybe able to get outside at this point. So that's 25 feet of movement. What does this guy have? I don't think he's a spellcaster. No. Okay, he does have the leadership thing.
He has my aura.
Okay. It is going to... he is going to, sorry, look towards... Kiyoshi and just say, Let Kriya guide your hand, boy. And he's going to use his leadership ability, which allows Kiyoshi to add a d4 to a roll. And that is going to be Gizzy's turn. It is over to you, Rest.
Okay. So Rice is gonna take kind of a running jump from here,
Okay.
all the way to the other side of the river.
Make an acrobatics check. This is more so to
Oh,
see how
yeah.
you land.
Oh yeah, I'm making the acrobatics check.
Proficiently. Let's see what the distance is here first. So I'm going to be, with that sort of roll, it's a 15-foot gap, but I'm going to say it's only going to use 10 feet of your movement to do the jump itself. So you save yourself
So I get
5
an extra
feet.
5 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So I move over here using 40 instead of 45 in that case. I use my bonus action to dash.
Okay. I assume are you running straight past this guy? Because that'll obviously be an attack of opportunity.
No.
Moving your way
I
around.
went like
Cool.
this,
Cool.
45 feet.
Cool. That's right.
So it doesn't go past him.
Yeah.
All right. So I will try to cut this guy open then.
All right.
How's that?
14 is going to miss it as you sort of pull the katana. He's also going to pull his as he sort of deflects it, able to get out of the way of the attack.
I'll get on the other side of him.
Alrighty. That is over to Kiyoshi, who is going to... he's just going to strike at the Spine Devil next to you, Darshana. That is going to be 2 attacks. At least initially. That's a 24 to hit, which is going to be 8 points of damage. And then for a second strike... That is an 18 to hit for 5 points of damage. The Spine Devil still lives before you, and he's going to make his way around to the other side of it. With that said, it is Netsu who is stunned, I believe. Let me double check this. No, she doesn't get a save. It's just to the start of this guy's turn. That is Netsu's turn. An invisible imp is going to attack towards... It's a rare occasion, but I'm going to roll to see who attacks. It's going to attack Kiyoshi. Okay, that's a natural 1 and a 23. So 23 is going to hit. 4 points of damage. An imp behind Umi is going to appear and attack her. Oh, that's a natural 20. That is 10 points of damage to Umi. Aite is going to... Wait, I've just realized... Emoto is not part of the initiative order.
He's
There we
not
go.
pulling his weight.
No. She's going
Yeah,
to
you
sort
can.
of... He's going to tap the backside of Emoto, and he's going to turn and look to charge ahead. But for her action, she's going to, once again, unleash a couple of arrows. She's going to try and protect her friend, Umi, with the first attack against the imp. That's a 10 to hit, which is going to miss. She's going to go for the Spine Devil next to Umi now. That one's much better. That's a hit. That is enough to take that Spine Devil down in front of Umi as it falls to the ground. And Aite will step further forward. Levander, where do you want Ander, by the way? Are they just with you? Levander?
Yeah, but kind of flying above.
Okay.
Like, trying to
above the
stay
trees?
out of sight. Yeah, trying to stay, out of sight. And what's it called? Away from the battle, so that she doesn't get hurt.
Okay. Yeah, so she's just soaring above, almost being your eyes in the sky kind of thing. So yeah, easily done. Over to you, Ziggy. You are down on the ground on your back, but
I am indeed. I'll use 15 to stand up.
mm-hmm.
I'll just turn my head to Belshore, who is also down, and just say, make sure he gets into the temple. And then I'm gonna take 15, and I don't know if I flavored it last time, but as I'm going to take another step, I'll like mirage fade away, and then I'll appear right here
Nice.
with a Misty Step,
Mm-hmm.
and
The
then
distance you get on that.
yeah, altogether I can get 60 feet,
Nice. Double your movement
90
speed.
if I want to use
A dash.
more.
Yeah.
Well, if I wanted to use,
Oh.
no, I mean I can't. Well, if I could,
Oh.
because I have 3 second levels, so I could get just 90 with the Misty Step alone, if it was possible. And then I'll take my 2 attacks on this man.
All right, go for it.
All right, I'm assuming a 21 hits, hopefully.
It does. This guy does have a
Okay.
little bit of magic surrounding him. It looks like he has some sort of arcane shield around him. But a 21 still cuts through it.
Mhm. All right. And I don't. This probably isn't gonna matter, but I have the slasher feat, and I'm gonna reduce his speed by 10,
Okay.
just in case he does try to run. And I'm also going to smite him at first level.
Okay. Just before you roll your smite stuff, I guess just for those that are now close to these individuals, Reist and Ziggy, you see that their hands are almost sort of plagued and blighted, like the land that you saw previously, even to the point where it's almost sort of clawing and climbing up their necks as well. Because of this, Ziggy, you get an extra D8 on your smite because they are considered fiendish in nature.
All right. So there's 2, and there's a third one. So altogether, that is 27.
27 points of damage. As the sword cuts in, you see the sort of blade sort of tear through the arcane shield and into the armor of this individual. Yeah, they look hurt.
All right. I'll go with my second attack. And second verse, same as the first.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just do that so I can get all of them at the same time. So 24 on the second
one.
hit.
Yeah, and again, as the second attack cuts through the arcane shield and the pulse of energy tears through the body, you see the sort of blighted body parts sort of light up with this bright color that you saw when you were sort of attacking the horn, as it sort of shone within and cracks began to appear. It appears in the similar fashion on this person's body as well.
All right.
Over to you, Balshor.
Balshor is gonna moan and grumble as he's getting up off the ground and just say, I'm getting too old for this. And as he gets up, he looks over at this spine devil in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And he just lightly swings a sword at it as this light wave of energy flies at it. And after it tries to strike it, it begins to condense and form into the spiritual weapon.
Where do you want the spiritual weapon?
Just right behind it.
Alrighty.
It would have tried to hit it and just went through.
So that is a 13, which hits, so roll your damage. That is 7 points of damage as the spiritual weapon cuts through the form of the spine devil. It sort of turns to look at what's just attacked it, looking a bit horrified and disgusting. As a note, Gizzy sort of looks at you as you do this and sort of gives you a nod and just says, "I'll get the man. You get the demons."
Nod back, and I will... No, wait. I just got up, so I'll just move here.
Yep. Alrighty. This guy, who's not having a good time in front of a Dragonborn, is going to use...
Actually, can I go ahead and use my action?
Yeah.
To dash.
Mhm.
So I will get a little bit further in.
Alright. Easily done. This guy is going to... Awkward situation. Awkward situation. Let me see if he gets this back first. He does. Gets his implode back. That's good. Could just do it again. That is an option that he has. Ziggy, I'm going to have to ask you for a strength check, please.
Oh boy.
You need to beat a 19.
Will I meet a 19?
Oh. You save against it. As he pushes his hands out, as he tries to force you with this telekinetic push, he sort of pushes against you and you just sort of hold your sword up, tensing your muscles and your body as you force yourself against the push and the grip of this telekinetic power. You are able to restrain the push and you are no longer pushed away from him, which makes things even more awkward for him because he can't do anything else.
I'll just simply taunt him by just shaking my finger and being like, "You shouldn't have tried that."
He's going to look at you and just say, "You don't know what you're getting involved in." And that's going to be his turn. The spine devil here is going to... Well, there's been a hunter's mark put on Leovander, so it is going to turn its attention towards Leovander and attack towards her. Let me do this real quick. So that's a bite attack against Leovander. That is a 19 to hit. That is 4 points of slashing damage.
Alrighty.
And then its fork attack against you is a natural 1. So the fork attack hits into the tree beside you as you sort of duck and dodge out the way, it missing its attack. Imoto has 50-foot speed.
Very fast boy.
Easy boy.
It's not letting me anchor any of my things here, so that's 30 feet. And then it will move over to here with its rest of the movement and go to attack and attempt to protect Leovander. That is not a great first roll, as that is a 7 to hit, which misses, and then it's claw attack. Oh, it gets pack tactics, hold on. Technically, you are an ally, Leovander. That ain't much better.
That's good to hear.
But the claw...
So it doesn't want to eat me.
Yeah. Feel comforted by that, at least. The claw is going to attack, going to hit it for 4 points of damage as the large claw of Imoto sort of strikes into the small form of the spine devil. Knocks it off balance a little bit, but it still stands and still looks to fight. The spine devil between Kiyoshi and Darshana is going to attack Darshana first with a bite attack. That is going to be a 19 to hit you, Darshana.
Yep.
That is 5 points of slashing damage. And then as it bites you, it's going to turn and strike its fork out towards Kiyoshi. Which is going to be a miss as Kiyoshi sort of, as you get struck by the attack, Kiyoshi dodges out the way deftly and looks over the shoulder of the Spine Devil and raises an eyebrow towards you. The Spine Devil is then going to fly up into the air as it uses its flyby ability and does not provoke attack of opportunities. Alright, this person who is confronted by Reist is going to Misty step away, first of all.
I'm going to take a reaction at that.
Right,
and,
yes.
And
yeah.
attack him.
Go for it. As you see the mist and the form of this individual begin to fade slightly, I believe a 16
hit?
just hits, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's tasty.
And I get an extra 2d6, which head over here.
36, you fucker.
I just gotta take a screenshot real quick, because this guy had exactly 36 hit points.
Oh,
Calculated.
Beautiful.
So, what does that look like, Reist, as you take this guy out?
So he was kind of parried my first blow with his katana, and he wasn't like he just thought he can drop his guard and use a spell to get away. But as he dropped his guard, I riposted with my weapon right at his neck, and kind of slice it open in one motion. He just drops to his knees, spitting blood out the mouth.
Yeah. Eventually falls limp to the ground before you. Anything else on your turn? Oh, it's not even your turn.
That's not even my turn.
The irony.
That was just a
Leomanda.
pain for that man. Oh, yes. Alrighty. So, because I just want to confirm, because this guy is 65 feet away from me.
Yes.
Would moving to about here provoke any attack of opportunity against this from the Spiny Devil?
No. As long as you stay within 5
No.
feet of it, it can't attack you.
Okay, then perfect. We're moving here. Hunter's marking this little shit. If he wants to do it to me, I'm doing it back.
Okay.
Um,
Hunter's Mark fight starts as you Hunter's Mark this guy back.
And then so 2 different attacks. I can use different weapons, correct?
Mhm.
All right. I am chucking my hand axe at this man.
Alright. What is the
Because
range of a hand axe?
Up to from 20 to 60.
Okay, so it will be with
And
disadvantage.
I am- He's at 55. Alrighty, that's fine. Let's hope it goes. Disadvantage was with control, correct? That is garbage.
Oof.
God
As
damn
you
it! It would have missed anyway.
As you throw the axe, it strikes into the tree. It doesn't even like embed into the tree, so it doesn't look cool or anything.
Kind of
Just
bounces off.
bounces off and lands in the dirt.
She flips him off again, turns to the Spiny Devil, and swings her longsword at it, one-handed.
Uh-huh.
Take advantage of that, I believe. I get a +2 to damage if I hit on this Spiny Devil, so I'm going to do that. Normal.
Oh my lord.
Fuck!
Damn, that is some bad luck as you strike.
That's annoying. I'm
As you
screaming.
strike towards it, you sort of strike down towards it. The Spine Devil sort of flies and dodges out the way. As you come down, sort of the sword landing in the grass as you pick yourself up and sort of ready for a next attack.
And she just she growls under her breath and then she growls under her breath and just grumbles. And that is her turn.
And as the greatest combat starts of Hunter's Mark, it is the other Hunter's Mark person's turn. They do have a little thingy thing that they can do, so they're going to Misty Step, 30 feet.
You're stealing all my tricks, man. You're making me
Yeah.
look bad.
Yeah,
It
sorry.
really
man.
is. You're stealing the tricks.
I was impressive until you started pulling all this out.
So yeah, that's a misty step towards you, Leovander, and then they're going to use their movement to run towards you as they unlatch a flail-like weapon, and they're going to unleash a couple of attacks against you. That is a 22 to hit. Leovander?
Give me the damage.
Okay. Okay, that is 5 points of bludgeoning damage. However, they are going to use a spell slot. Yeah. I'm turning it back on you guys now. They're going to use a first level spell slot to smite you.
Hey,
You know, I don't know if I've
Did you
actually
just
seen
model
a
him after
player.
me? What's going on here?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
What the
have
fuck
to
is this?
mark.
They're just using a
Get
flail.
smited.
Bizarro Ziggy.
So that is an extra 12 points of necrotic damage. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh god.
Oh dear. You are frightened of this
They're so
individual. Oh, and you'll also take an extra
They're
d6
so-
points of damage because of the hunter's mark.
Well, Hunter's Mark.
That's an extra 1 point
And
of
you
damage.
need to make a and you need to make a con save to hold Conta's mark.
Yeah, you need to roll a concentration check. So con save for me, please.
Just a bad day for Leovanda now.
Okay, you do. Well, actually, hold on. Let's see what the total damage was for that first attack. That is where's the damage? So that's 5, 6, 18. So yeah, you just had to beat a 10. You do so. You still have concentration on the hunter's mark. It is, however, this person's second attack.
That was
Why is
only
he
the
being
first
so-
attack.
I shouldn't have flipped them off.
That is a 24 to hit for 9 points of damage, plus an extra d6. Unfortunately, it does not get to do many smites per turn like you lot do. You take 10 points of damage total.
Jesus Christ. Well, bye-bye half of my HP.
And I believe...
It keeps happening.
I believe that might be their turn.
It keeps fucking happening to me. Half my HP just ripped away before I can even do anything about it. Damn.
Oh, you would have had disadvantage against that saving throw about being frightened as well. So you are frightened, which means that you
I
have
failed anyway.
disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of your fear is within line of sight. You also can't willingly move closer to your source of fear, which isn't too much of a problem because he stood right beside
He's
you.
right up next to me.
But by all means, you can run away. Darshana.
I don't think I want to do that. They got two fuckers that can attack me.
Dashana is gonna hit the imp.
Okay.
I'm
First
losing my
thing.
voice.
Oh, that's going to be a hit. This is on the imp, yeah?
Yeah.
8 points of damage. It surprisingly survives the attack. You hit it, of course, but it still lives.
She's then gonna turn to the spiny
Bonus
devil and
action,
try and
my
grab
shit.
it.
You're going to try and
hit it,
grab
sorry.
Okay, okay.
Hit it. Yeah, sorry, hit it. She's gonna jump up and try and hit it.
Alrighty. It is 25 feet away.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I know that.
I don't think you can attack it.
Uh,
Like it is.
just
It is
wondering 'cause my
well.
jump height.
You could. I don't even think. Step of the Wind lets you jump higher.
Yeah, that's
either.
what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
I think your jump height from a standing point is your strength modifier halved. Your strength score, sorry, halved, which would be 5 feet. So you
5
could
foot.
you could essentially reach 10 feet high. So you're still well without still well out of range of the spine devil. You could throw something at
Alright.
it.
Yeah, I'll wait for it to
dart
come
or
down. Yes, I do. But I'd rather instead hit something else.
Fair.
So I'll hit the other imp.
So you're stepping out of the range of this imp?
The imp that I just hit?
Yeah, it's still alive.
Yes.
Okay, it's going to attack of opportunity you then.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I've attacked it. Doesn't get an opportunity attack.
Oh, did you take a feat?
I have my feet. Yes, I did.
Okay. Are you standing on something right now? Yeah, you're standing on an NPC.
Yeah.
So you'd have to like move here or
Oh,
something.
there's an NPC there?
Yeah.
Where?
Umi. Umi's there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is...
I also didn't see her head to refresh.
No.
Oh,
I see her.
that's awkward.
Nope.
I believe I can see her. Yeah, I can see her as well. So
Well, she's right there. But
Okay.
yeah.
But then I'll step around that Umi, and then I'll hit this thing.
All right.
The invisible Umi. I will.
Yeah.
Invizumi.
24 hits for 12 points of damage. You take that one out of the sky as it falls down to the ground.
Run back to the other one and punch it in the face.
I am. That's exactly what she's gonna do. She's immediately running back to punch it.
All right, roll your unarmed strike.
Darting
Oh
all
man,
over the
these
place.
are good rules. 7 points of damage is enough to take out the second of the two imps, as that one also falls to the ground.
This is like a
Just
running
trying to just
roundhouse
bring it
kick onto its
pinball.
face.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pinball
Just like
machine
as
bouncing between.
spectacularly as possible, and then looks Kyoshi dead in the eyes and just stares at him like, "How's that? Are you happy now?"
Like just like shoulder, like a shoulder. What's things like squares up on him. Funny.
Is
Sorry.
that no? It's all right. Is that your turn, Darshana?
Yes, that is her turn. She is now staring at Kyoshi like she's challenging him to do better.
Alrighty. I think
Love that.
this spine devil is going to turn its attention towards Ziggy. So it's going to fly over to Ziggy within range, and
Spiritual weapons don't get attack of opportunity, right?
they do not.
Shame.
They're already very strong.
This is true, but
The bite attack is going to miss with an 8. And then I imagine a 12 is going to miss with its fork. As you hear it come up behind you, Ziggy, you just sort of turn your head and step out the way. It completely misses. All right, this guy who disappeared as he was running towards Leovander, unfortunately for Leovander, is going to have some
Oh no.
terrible occurrences occur here.
Hmm.
As with greater invisibility, he's able to attack whilst invisible without revealing himself. So this means he gets advantage on his attacks. Okay, let me double check something. Why is that rolling so much damage?
Don't tell me he just hit a nat 20 on me.
No. You do take 19 points of damage, though. It was a 21 to hit. I assume a 21 hits.
Yeah, definitely hits 17 AC. You said what? How many points again? 19.
19. And then...
Whoa, that's too much. 17. Ow. There's my half of my HP again.
And then... There's a situation occurring. Darshana, you are to be attacked next.
Okay.
25 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
As you hear the sort of grunts of Leovander, and you sort of see out your peripheral, she's seemingly being attacked by nowhere, and then you feel this sort of burning cut up your spine of your back as the sword tears through. You also take 19 points of damage as the person who was invisible seemingly appeared behind you. And I believe, let me just double check something. Alrighty. That is their turn. Over to Umi. Seeing the sort of reaction of Darshana beside you, is going to attack from towards the space that you were attacked from. And there's nothing there. She just sort of falls into thin air and is going to step into the space and attack the spine. Oh, she's got dots. She's going to reach for a dart and throw one up towards the spine devil. Up in the sky. That is 5 points of damage, which is enough. The Spine Devil falls 25 feet to the ground, falling dead. Kuma is going to try and stand up, and he does so. He makes his way towards the temple. Gizzy is just going to look at Akuma and just say, "You're right, old man. I'll see you safe. I'll see you safe." And he doesn't like drag him along, but he sort of takes a position next to the door with his sword and just making sure that he's okay. Rice, over to you.
How does advantage work in your games, Adam?
In
Oh,
what
not
sense?
advantage, flanking.
It doesn't.
No flanking at all.
No.
Okay. That's unfortunate. How does this Hunter's Mark guy look then?
He looks healthy, unhurt.
Okay, and the one Ziggy is attacking
Looks really bad.
pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Ziggy can finish him off. I'm worried about that. Okay, so no flanking. I think I'm probably still just going to dash my way over to this guy
Okay.
and try to slice him. All the action is over here.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. This guy is much more armored. He has a shield in one hand. The armor that they're wearing is seemingly this splint armor, but a 22 does hit.
And sneak
That's painful.
because somebody is next to him,
Mm-hmm.
but without the bonus because I didn't put the thing up.
There's 14 extra points of damage, 21 points of damage in total. As the katana cuts into the form, sort of cutting through the slats of the armor, you see a bit of blood begin to pour from the Fire Genazi's form.
My sneak's supposed to be full. Yep, that's right. So I had to use my bonus action to dash over here, and I attacked him. So I guess that's it.
Alrighty. Kiyoshi, seeing, the situation with Darshana there as she shows off.
And then promptly gets stabbed by an invisible force.
He's just going to look at you and say, "It's not a competition." And he's going to run towards the Spine Devil as he attempts to take the higher ground in this whole thing. And with 2 attacks against it, at least for now. That is 19 for 8 points of damage. And then the second attack. Oh, that's a 23 to hit for 6, which is enough to take out the Spine Devil behind you, Ziggy. Crap, where was he? Was he here? Yeah, I think he was, wasn't he? So that's 20. He's still able to move up towards this guy, and he's going to use his bonus action to unarmed strike. That is a hit for 10 points of damage. Alright, Netsu is no longer stunned, so that's good. She can do a thing.
I can see my blitz was well spent on her.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting that you've given it to me.
You better be using it, guys.
She is...
It's like all I've done.
That's not true.
Okay, I landed 1 hit with my spiritual weapon. That's it.
She is going to cast Shield of Faith on Leovander. So Leovander, you gain a +2 to your AC.
That's going to help a lot. Hopefully. No, it will.
And then she's going to grab onto a symbol of Kriya and just say, "Let the flame of Kriya be with me." And she's going to reach out towards the Spine Devil and cast Sacred Flame, which is not fire. Maybe she's learning. But that is
Radiant.
that is going to be a dexterity saving throw for this Spine Devil. It fails, so takes 14 points of damage. It's still alive, but the sort of radiant flame as it engulfs the Spine Devil wraps around it and then sort of dissipates, almost being blown away in the wind. That is Netsu's turn. Actually, she is going to make a step towards the bridge, just to provide it a little bit extra defense, as everyone else pushes out from it. After Netsu, that is Aite's turn. Going to make a step closer up towards these bushes and attack towards Atsuk, the fire genasi.
I would have given her my bless as well, but
She was very far away, yeah. The first attack is actually going to miss as the arrow fires over the head of the fire genasi and Reist and Leo Vanders, I guess. The second attack is an 18 to hit. Sorry, not an 18, a natural 18. That's a 24 to hit, which hits. That is 13 points of damage as the arrow pierces the shoulder of the fire genasi.
I do remember she was over here, right?
Hmm?
Like originally, back when Valshore casted Bless, she was like way over here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She
No real way,
shouts out a command towards Imoto just to protect you, Leovander. She basically just says, "Protect Leovander," and that is basically all she says. Cool. That is her turn. That is over to you, Ziggy.
All right. I'm gonna keep attacking the man in front of me with malicious intent.
Go for it. Oh, that would hit. However, with its reaction, it is going to he's going to use his telekinetic deflection. As the strike comes in, he sort of just lifts his hand, and with that, the sort of sword is pushed sideways slightly as he adds a +4 AC to his armor class.
You're adding that bless to your attack, right?
Oh,
I mean,
it's
there's still a chance that I could just miss with it.
It's worth well, yeah, but you get it regardless.
Yeah,
It's not just like a one
Yeah,
roll
you get
thing.
every swing.
yeah.
Never mind.
It doesn't hurt not to use it.
Yeah. But the
Okay,
+1 doesn't help much. But you do have your second
Yeah.
attack?
I do indeed. Make that a 17.
Plus the D4.
This is true. Make that a 20.
20 to.
The 17 would have missed because of the +4, but because of the bless, as you're guided by Kriya and maybe a little bit of Balshol, your strike once again sort of pushes through the telekinetic push and deflection. Roll your damage.
All right. And then
That'd
we
be
will
fat
continue
damage.
to smite this heathen if I need to.
He's alive.
Oh, yep. It's smiting time.
He's smiting time.
God.
That's great.
Wow. Absolutely
Okay.
trashed.
You
And,
would technically get another D6.
Oh my
too.
god.
What the fuck?
I really wanted this guy dead, apparently.
Yeah. You left
So
him
did
with
Foundry.
You left him with 1 HP, by the way, when you after your attack. He is now absolutely demolished as you deal an extra 24 points of damage.
While
what
I'm
does this look like?
striking, I'm gonna raise my sword up and just stare at him and say, "You say I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but it's clearly you who doesn't know what they're getting into. You messed with my friends in my temple," and then I'm just gonna slash right across his chest.
Yeah, and as you do, he sort of spins and turns and just falls limp to the ground. I honestly thought you were just going to leave it there when you said, "But it's you," as if you were getting into
But
him.
I wanted to, but then I already started stumbling into other words, and I was like, well,
That's
might as well
fine.
finish the sentence, or else it's
I
just gonna
have
be
6
weird.
seconds for my speech. I need to use them all.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, Alright, and then
you-
I'll give a nod to Kiyoshi, and then I'm just gonna do my little misty step thing
Alrighty.
and get
This
right
spine-
over here.
The spine devil is dead. The skull
Okay.
keeps disappearing on it, for me at least. I don't know if it is for everyone else.
Yeah, and then
It hasn't a soft button.
and then I'll just walk 15 feet to get right here.
Alrighty. Wait, how much movement do you have?
I have 30. I have 30 movement, and Misty Step also gives me 30.
You use Misty Step again?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, totally missed
Yeah,
it.
I used Misty Step initially to get over here, and then I just walked the 15.
Right, sorry. Cool. Easily done. As you sort of, once again, the mirage of Ziggy sort of wavers out of view and then back into view, and then you just sort of step over the bushes and over the multiple dead bodies of devils and imps. With that said, Balshaw, over to you.
All right. I will just kind of push past everyone here and get up to this person who's being the crap out of Lavanda and return the favor
Hmm.
with 2 longsword attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Not very good.
That'll be a miss.
Well,
That is also a miss. Holy moly! As you strike in towards it, towards this guy, as I say, they have a shield available to them, and they utilize it as they block the attacks away.
disappointing. I'm going to use my bonus action to pull the spiritual weapon 20 feet closer to me.
Alrighty. 20 feet. There we go. That is over to Spine Devil over here, who is going to turn towards Levander and attack her. There's going to be a bite attack. Remember, you have a +2 to... Oh, it's a natural 20. That is 5 points of slashing damage towards you, Levander. And then a fork attack. What I was going to say is that you have a +2 to your AC, so keep that in mind. I think that is going to miss regardless of the +2 with a 7.
Yeah, definitely. My
Um,
temp AC right now is 19.
Your temp? Oh, your temp AC, sorry. I thought you said temp
Yeah.
HP. I was like, what?
No, temporary
Yeah.
AC is 19. My current HP is 12.
That's 11 more than you technically need. Emoto is going to attack towards the Spine Devil with a bite and a claw. Bite hits. That is enough to take the Spine Devil down as it falls to the ground. It technically has its attack still. Its claw attack. And it will move into position to attack this Fire Genasi with advantage because of the pack tactics. That is going to be a miss. Yeah, that's a miss as the claw comes out towards the Fire Genasi. Fire Genasi is able to definitely move out the way as it dodges the attack. Leavander, over to you.
Alrighty, so going to longsword this guy, and I believe I have to roll disadvantage. That kind of makes me sad.
Well, it's
That
still
one makes me
22
sad.
to hit.
Yeah, 22 hits, and she rolls down. She swings down two-handed.
That's a one-handed strike.
It's a one-handed strike indeed. That's
It's
fine.
It's a D10. So roll a D10 for me.
Yep. I believe I need to do plus
It's +5.
5.
Yep.
I was just figuring that out real fast.
Only the +2 is only for one-handed.
Oh
One
yeah.
I know.
handed +2.
I know, but
Yeah,
I
so
was
it's
she was
fine.
swinging
That's my
she was
bad.
swinging
That's my
two-handed.
bad. My bad. So that is 10 points of damage rather than 12. So yeah,
Sorry, no, that was just with the.
you only get the +2 when it's when you're attacking with one hand.
Yep. No,
so
But you get your hunter's mark.
I looked at it wrong, and then
Ye-
my hunter's mark damage as well. But
So you attack with the first attack, striking into it. Roll your hunter's mark damage.
just the one, and go. Ugh.
Extra 3 points of damage. Yeah, the looking bloodied as you tear in with your first attack. Still have your second one.
Alright, and then she wheels it back around one-handed with disadvantage,
Mm-hmm.
and 12 misses.
And that one
It's
won't
fine.
be a miss.
Coming just short.
But as you get to the end of your turn, the frightened status wears off. You're no longer frightened. And it is their turn.
You need to roll concentration for him, for my attack.
I need to roll concentration for a lot of attacks. Hold on.
He only got hit by me and by Leovander, yeah.
Rolled a 25. So I imagine that saves against your...
Yeah, that saves.
And then
Mine was a DC 10, and this one's also DC 10, I guess.
Oh, that's an 11, just saves. So yeah, still has concentration on the Hunter's Mark. Thank you for reminding me.
Cat's attack too?
Hmm?
Is it the cat's attack too?
The cat
No,
hit?
cat.
the
Immortal
cat
miss.
missed.
Did he miss? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So. Going to attack towards Reist first, and then Leovander. So the attack on Reist first. Here we go with the flail. That is not a great roll. That is an 11 to hit. Which I
Doesn't
imagine
hit.
misses. He's going to turn and then attack towards Leovander. Oh man, that's not great either. It's a 15 to hit.
Nope. Wouldn't
Oh,
hit even
dear.
with my normal AC.
Oh dear, this guy is all of a sudden in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, especially with 4 people around him.
Yeah,
Packed in there.
and even I,
He's in a bit of a pickle.
even I, as Adam, knows that he can escape right now, if not for Reist. But he's going to do it because he doesn't know that. So it's going to be
Yeah.
another Misty Step.
No, I'm gonna take my reaction against the Misty Step.
Naturally, yeah. I would be somewhat
Oh,
disappointed if you didn't. Oh,
Oh, pain.
Oh no.
That was so
Oh.
close to 20.
it was. It hovered over it. Now I
Said,
didn't think.
"Yeah, nah."
I'll be honest. I didn't think we'd get this far. I thought maybe you would have hit, which is foolish of me.
And now you're like, oh, where do I go?
Not
Yeah.
rolling very well today. It's like
He was
Where-
kinda-
where would he go? I think he's going to go towards the temple. So he teleports beyond Balshor, beyond Netsu, and appears just on the bridge, as looks to be heading towards either the temple, Akuma. It's hard to say. And does have movement, so is going to take a step here.
is Netsu gonna smack him? Or not that kind of.
She can be. I did describe her as having a sword out at the beginning, didn't I? Like she was leaning
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
Great sword, even.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Great
she
sword.
is.
Great
she
sword
is.
even.
She is going to attack towards him. Then. That is not a great roll. It's an 11 to hit as the sword swings. It looks like it's going to hit into the bridge, but she stops herself with discipline and strength as she misses the attack completely.
Better be using bless.
It wouldn't have helped.
Still, should better be using it.
Darshana.
To clarify, I can't see the invisible attacker, can I?
No.
That just sliced me up.
They're invisible.
Alright, in that case,
And where the
Yep,
attack
see-
came from was where Umi now is. She tried to find them and sort of stumbled into that space where the attack came from. Yeah, you don't see them, and they seemingly aren't behind you anymore because Umi is now there, sort of looking around trying to find them.
in that case, she's just gonna be like, well, that's a problem for the future of Darshana. I'm gonna go attack this guy that just appeared on the bridge, heading towards the guy I'm meant to be protecting, and the sword I am as well.
Alrighty.
It's gonna race up and smack him a bunch. So here we go.
$13 will miss. 25 will hit.
The first one, the D4.
It's not gonna matter.
Let's be using. Okay.
Just to save us
second one
time
hits.
from clicking on a D4 and rolling it to find out that it's not going to hit anyways. But the second one did hit as your quarterstaff strikes into it and into the form. Sorry.
Yep.
Anything else?
10 points. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gonna... Obviously.
Two more misses as you go in for the unarmed strikes. Make sure to mark off your key point.
Yep.
As you go in for the two strikes, they're able to dodge and block with the shield. They're pretty well armored, pretty well protected.
Case she is going to move up next to the other guy to block the way into the temple.
Okay. Interesting. Alright, the invisible assailant. Ziggy,
Ooh.
you are assailed from the form of an invisible person. So an attack against you with advantage. That is not the greatest roll, an 18 to hit.
Nope.
As you sort of feel the grinding, much like Darshana felt up her spine, you feel the blade sort of cut up your spine, but the armor of your form just sort of deflects it, and you turn, and before you know it, they are out of reach, and appearing behind Akuma. And that is going to be an attack against Akuma. That is a 22 to hit. That is 25 points of damage to Akuma, who at this point falls limp onto the ground. And then... Alrighty. Umi. Does she even have any targets that she can see?
You can see this guy, surely.
Oh yeah.
Umi.
You can't see the guy right in front of her.
Yeah, she's going to run up and again, just with some unarmed strikes, or at least one. Sorry. Ooh, that's a 21 to hit, which is exactly what you need. But plus, she had a D4. So let's just roll it for the crack. So that's a 24 to hit. That is 12 points of damage. And due to her force strike, she's able to potentially knock this person down prone. Needs to roll a dex save, which they are not great. Remind you of their initiative of 0. Oh dear. They save.
Oh.
Kuma Kiyomi, roll a death save. Saves. Gizzy is going to look to Akuma with this anger on his face, is going to raise his warhammer up and strike towards the form of this fire genasi. That's going to be 2
Finally,
attacks
he got
with
to
it.
do something.
Hmm?
Finally, he got to do something.
Yeah. After all this waiting. You say do something, he misses with the first attack. Oh, that's 23 for the second attack. That is 9 points of damage. Gizzy didn't do much, but he took out the fire genasi as the warhammer comes down onto the head of the fire genasi. The form of the genasi falls limp on the bridge. Good for you, Gizzy. Right.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna link something, and you tell me
Okay.
if this seems like it's gonna work,
Okay.
because I'm not sure it's gonna work.
We believe in you. You can do it.
Make a perception check.
Yeah, I would only do it if I thought it's gonna work based on my
It could
experience.
potentially work because you're more so looking out for disruption of bushes and nature and footsteps, perhaps. Obviously, it's going to be difficult,
Sure.
but it is possible.
Okay. Here it goes. Not a 2.
21. Let me just quickly roll something. You see a slight bit of movement of the bushes and a little bit of an imprint on the grass over in this direction here.
All right, I'm just gonna. Do I see? So I imagine I might have seen it moving away, like moving in this direction because he hit
Nope.
Akuma, so I probably saw the movement here, right?
Nope. You saw no movement
Nope.
going from point A to point B. Only that you saw Akuma fall and then
Okay.
movement appear where I just pointed to you. So the
Okay,
bushes,
well-
the bushes almost just randomly get disrupted as they begin to move. And as I say, you see the imprints just appear right there and then on the grass.
All right. Well, my bonus action is used, so I'll just move over here and try to slice it.
All right.
Slice at something.
Would be an attack with disadvantage, I'm afraid.
I guess.
Yep. With an 18, you still hit, though. The only issue is,
No
is that
sneak
you don't
attacks,
have
though.
sneak attack. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but maybe
Ooh.
concentration.
14 points of damage, and you're right, it will be a concentration check.
And maybe other people know where he is now, so.
Just saves with a 13. Yeah.
He's right here. He's
As you say this, and as you all look, you see Rice sort of sprint over the bushes and run, and as he usually does, just sort of quickly pulls the katana, and you see blood sort of appear out of nowhere as it sort of sprays up, coats the blade a little bit, and then sort of rains down to the grass.
I'm not putting it away every time in a fight.
Okay.
But yeah, after that happens, I kind of keep my katana pointed to where he is to help the others, be able to attack.
Alrighty. It is Kiyoshi's turn, who is going to use their bonus action to, once again, use a key point to Step of the Wind, so that's a bonus action dash. They're going to sort of get up right beside you and sort of see where you're pointing and go for the attack. Again, it'll be attacks with disadvantage. First one is going to be a miss.
Less.
Yeah, I wouldn't have mattered. It was a bad roll. That one, though, that's going to be a hit with a 17 to hit. That is 9 points of damage as Kiyoshi runs over, sort of sees where you're pointing and sort of just takes a moment, breathes in, and just unleashes two quick flurry of punches. The first one just sort of hitting air. Second one, he feels the impact and sort of gives you a nod, Riced. At that
Concentration.
point... Oh, yeah. Thank you. That is a con save. DC of a 10. That's a 6. The form of the individual reappears as the invisibility pours away from them. It is Netsu's turn. Maybe it's at good timing. She is going to sort of once again grip towards the symbol of Kriya, and is going to unleash a not a sacred flame, sorry, a guiding bolt. She's going to unleash it at 3rd level towards this guy. She needs to roll a 4 on this d4.
Please tell me she rolled a d4.
She rolled
Yes!
a 4. As the guiding bolt strikes out, that is 18 points of damage, radiant.
Bless!
And now she is this guy, sorry, is lighting up. The next attack against him, sorry, has advantage. With that said, it is Aite's turn. I think she's going to be cruel enough to take the advantage away and just go for the attack. Although, does she get into melee and try to surround this guy? Yeah, I think she is. She's going to run up, pull a katana, much like Rice. She sort of keeps it in her hilt for the most part, at least so far in this battle. And as she pulls it, straight from the pull, she's going to attack towards it as she sort of pushes it forward with her offhand. That is going to be her first attack. That is with advantage. It's a 19 for 7 points of damage. Oh, almost took 7 points of damage from her. 7. And then for a second attack, which is no longer with advantage. Oh, that's a natural 1. That's unfortunate. So yeah, as she sort of comes forward, she tears the katana across the back of this guy, tearing a bit of blood from them. But with that said, it is over to you, Ziggy.
Alright, we're gonna Misty Step to behind him,
All right.
and I'll return the favor. I'll slash up his back like he tried to do to me.
All right, go for it.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
All of your dice are doubled. That includes any smites that you want to unleash.
Smite the shit out of him.
You're goddamn right.
So that's 17.
17.
Alright. That's
Save
68.
some for me.
Fuck him up. Fuck him up. Fuck him up. Let's
Give
get
the
all 8
goods.
of those d8s.
That's good enough.
There's 3 8s in there. Holy shit.
Ziggy, how would you like to do this?
Oh my god.
Murder
Say-
him.
Only cowards hide from their foes, and I'll slash up his back like he did to me.
As you tear up the back, sort of tearing through the skin, through the fabric of the robes that they're wearing, you see the blood begin to pour as they fall down to their knees. The blade sort of cutting through the neck portion of their spine and up as you unleash. The blood sort of sprays outward, and they just fall down. Their hat falling off their head, falling limp to the ground. Let me just double check. I don't think there's any threats in the immediate area.
There's the one guy floating above, unless he's already dead.
This one
He's
here.
dead. He just
Yeah,
He's,
Yeah, this.
Yeah.
his skull's not staying.
it's
he's
for,
immortal.
For some
We
reason,
can't kill him.
out of all of the tokens on there, that one in particular is the one that's acting weird. I don't know why. I'll try bringing him back down to 0. He's dead though. Yeah, as you sort of Ziggy, as you finish off that attack, a silence sort of envelops the temple here.
Cure wounds.
Before that, as you sort of begin to run up, Gizzy is going to look to you and just say, "We should take him to the hospital in city." And as he sort of looks, like gestures down, you see one of the hands of of Akuma is also rotten and blighted. But by all means, you can go over, cast your Cure Wounds if you want to roll your healing.
So you said that silence. Is it the silence?
Sorry.
Or is it normal?
I'll clarify. It's a normal
Silence after a
silence.
battle?
Yeah, just after the
Okay.
chaos of the battle, the silence returns, which is more of the ordinary silence. There's still the sound of the city, sort of to the south, the wildlife that sort of springs into life here. You can still hear all of that.
As Rice moves, he's still going to try and listen out for the sounds of a portal,
Okay.
just in case.
Roll a perception check, and also roll an Arcana check as well.
And well, my Arcana is not going to be great.
It just like flipped itself back from a 16. What the fuck? Am I the only one who saw that?
As you take a sort of a moment to listen out, you don't hear anything that is out of the ordinary or unnatural. You don't hear any pulls.
Alright. Okay.
Livanda
well,
just. Sorry,
go
you were saying,
on.
Rice?
I'm walking towards the Akuma, so that takes a few moments, I guess. Go on.
In the same moment, Livanda falls to her knees, the adrenaline running out of her body, and just coughs up blood again onto the floor and casts Cure Wounds on herself. Level 1. Wonk.
Oh yeah, I would hand out healing to everyone.
Yeah, I'll go to
got lots of those
Leovanda, and I'll give her 35 of my 40 on lay on hands.
Levander, you heal
Yeah.
35.
So
Unless that-
51 up from 16, correct?
Huh?
Is my math right on that? 31 up from 51 up from 16? Because I gave 4 to
think so.
myself.
If you just right-click on your token and then plus 35, it'll do the math for you.
Yep, that is true. that is true.
Because otherwise, would be here all day with my inability to math.
Well, what the fuck happened?
Let me fix it for you.
16 plus
yours?
35.
Yeah.
I keep fucking it up. Hold on.
Right, let me do it for you.
16 plus
Let me do it
35
for you.
is
Let me do it for you.
11.
There we go.
Yeah, it's 51.
Anyone on the bridge hurt?
Your math was right.
Akuma's hurt, though obviously you've just healed him. Darshana's pretty hurt.
Shauna,
Like really
40.
scratched up. She's got a massive cut on her back, but she's like, I'm fine.
I'll give you 40 health.
I don't think I need that. But I'll take it.
Well,
Ivana looks
Ta-
up from the ground. It's
I
like,
only need so much.
tell him exactly how much you need, because he's not going to use more than...
Now my math. Now my math. Okay, math.
Yeah,
Yay,
lay hands. I
math.
can pick a specific amount.
It'll be 24.
What are you at?
Okay.
So
16.
Akuma is now conscious with a rotten arm.
Yes, he's sort of laid down. Obviously, the form of his son is also sort of fallen upon the ground as well. And he sort of, as he's awoken, he sort of reaches over to his son and just sort of grabs onto the robes that his son is wearing, sort of tightly gripping it. And the rotten arm is almost sort of slung to like over his stomach, limp, as he just holds it there. But he's just looking up into the sky.
Right.
At this
Would
point,
Rice know anything about rotten arms?
No, I'm gonna say there was most likely a check last week in terms of the blight and the rot. This is similar. It's the same sort of blight and sort of necrotic essence. It's not all of his arm. It's maybe he's like halfway up his forearm, like from his hand. But yeah, it's sort of cracked and broken, and it would look lifeless if not for the fact that he's able to move it slightly. It doesn't look like he's got all of the movement in there, as it just sort of falls limp on his body. But yeah, I'm going to say that it's a bit of an enigma to you in terms of what it is, into like how to fix it. Obviously, over the last year, you've heard of the Kriya clerics that have been doing their sort of research and investigations, and there is apparently potentially a way to cure it, just with rare ingredients that you are not aware of just yet.
And his son?
Make a medicine check, Darshana.
I was about to say, I want to try and give him a 1 point from lay on hands, just to see if it does anything.
As you place your hand on, wow. As you place your hand on Balshor and try to place a bit of life force within the form of Akuma's son, no life force enters.
I just hang my head low.
Ivana looks up to Ziggy and just gives him a short nod of thanks, wiping the blood away from her lips, and then looks over at Emoto and sets a hand on his paw, on their paw.
Emoto just sort of lies down and curls up and starts washing themselves.
I'll,
Anda lands on his head as well.
Cats.
You took quite the beating this fight,
Yes,
but you're still here.
as are you, my friend. Can I help you in any way?
You can help me by just keep doing a great job.
She
And I'll-
she smiles and reaches out for his hand to stand.
I will give my hand.
And in that moment, she casts Cure Wounds on him.
Got him.
Gotti.
It's 6 points of healing to Ziggy.
Alright. I think Rice is gonna say to Akuma, you need to get up and get away from the temple.
The eyes sort of shoot from the sky to you, and there's a look of your passive insight's like crazy, right?
Yeah, 19.
There's a look of disappointment, fear, sadness, and after a moment, he sort of resigns to acknowledgement, understanding, and sort of gives you a nod, a very firm nod, and just says, "I am sorry. I didn't know where else to go." And he looks over to his son and stands up, and he is going to pick up the form of his son, and Gizzy sort of looks to Akuma and says,
Is he trying to pick him up with his rotten arm?
"No, like he's picking him up with his good hand."
You might want to leave him if there is any hope for him to be better off away from your current condition.
He thinks
Take him
for
to
a
the
moment.
hospital.
Make a persuasion check.
Where is my persuasion? My persuasion is not great.
I just want to say that's the second time you've said that something isn't great and then rolled really high. So just
Well, I mean, you can
Keep
still
at it.
roll, but
he sort of once again he sort of resigns this sense of defeat in the moment, as a father he probably doesn't want to leave his son regardless of his son's current state, and sort of gives the nod again of understanding, looks to Gizzy, and Gizzy says, I will take you to the hospital and make sure that you are taken care of and isolated for our clerics here in the city to investigate your hand there. In the meanwhile, Netsu might be able to see to your son, and if not, we can cross that bridge when we get to it, my friend. And he sort of gestures to Akuma to step forward, and Gizzy leads Akuma into the city. Towards the hospital, presumably.
Once he's out of sight, Dashana's going to lean down and just get a look at the body of the young boy to see what might have happened to him.
Rice is gonna like join and inspect, make sure there's no rot on him.
Yeah.
I'll say either both of you can roll an investigation check each, or someone can roll with advantage. Up to you.
Both roll.
Anything.
I don't.
Okay.
And Rice is gonna be really careful because he suspects there might be rot, so he's not gonna use his bare hands.
Okay.
Deshana's not. She's just very carefully moving it.
As you sort of pull away the sort of robes to see if there's any signs of blight or plague or rot or whatever it is, you don't see any on the sun, but you do see the blatant cause of death. As you turn the sun over, you see this sort of almost perfect spherical hole in the base of the back of the head, like where the spine meets the head, and it's just a whole perfect, like I say, perfectly circular, grounded out.
The hell does that look like anything?
Roll an Arcana check again.
Okay.
With an 18. Oh, and a 16, sorry. The 18 and the 16, as you think back about over some of your classes, some of your lessons. For a moment, you're running into brick walls as you can't think of it. It feels familiar. And then after a moment, Rice, you remember hearing about a particular type of oni, a Tamashi oni. They are basically soul eating onis. Sorry, but they also pluck the memories of those that they take care of, eat, whatever it is that they do, and they do that by literally eating their brains. As you sort of look towards the sun, you see that the sun, where the hole enters, there is nothing. There is obviously a lot of mess, but in your investigations, there is no brain.
Right. Would I assume that some of these attackers were this Tamashi Oni, or would I be pretty sure that it's someone else somewhere?
With your check, you're able to determine that if one of these were the Oni, their form would have likely returned to the Oni form upon their death. Now, Onis are capable of changing their form and changing their appearance. You're correct in that. But yeah, upon them falling dead or unconscious, they would have returned back to the Oni form.
Rice is gonna think back to his interaction with Akuma just a second ago and make sure it was genuine Akuma.
Bit of an insight?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Retrospective insights.
Well. Oh, that was perception. It's the same.
Same. As you think on your encounter, think on the conversation, just the situation in general. He seemed slightly detached, perhaps in shock due to everything that's happened. But nothing. How to word this? He is not in a way that is suspicious. You know, in these situations, you expect someone to be in shock. And so the way that he was reacting was not out of character or unordinary or anything like that.
He also almost got killed, so that helps.
That as well, yeah.
I'm just gonna say to everyone, the threat is not over. There is another demon who killed this child. We should find out where it happened, I guess.
That was loud enough for everyone to hear, correct?
Yeah, I'm just really loud, and I'm going to try to shout to Gizzy if he's not too far away.
I'll
Hold up!
I'll roll a perception check for him. Oh, he didn't roll good. Let's see what his bonus is. Yeah. I mean, with your
Rice is just
perception,
gonna
you can.
sprint
With your
after
perception,
them,
yeah, you can just about see him entering the daimyo's estate walls. So he's quite a distance. He doesn't seem to react to your shouting. You sort of run up to him. You're fast enough. You're much faster than Gizzy. And as you sort of catch up to him, he turns to look at you and just says, "Are you all right, friend?"
Wait. Akuma, we need to know something. Where did it happen?
What, my son? You mean?
Yes.
It happened in our home.
Where's that?
You know where that is?
Oh, that over there? You brought him all the way here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Understood.
It happened a few days ago. I wasn't being chased by these people. They weren't even there when it happened. But a great beast entered our home. Humongous. Horn. Well, one horn. The other horn looked broken.
Nani.
Yes. He was muscular, huge. I couldn't fight him off. And he did what he did.
Alright, thank you. I guess we'll inform the daimyo and probably somebody will investigate. And Rice is just gonna go back and tell everybody that, false alarm, they got attacked in their home again. So there's no one here.
Why do they keep being attacked? This is the second time this family has found themselves in the middle of this.
You say
It
it
is
is a
strange.
false alarm, but no, this is not false.
Well, by
The
false,
alarm
I
is
mean
very
it's
real.
not right here. It's not right
In
here
the
right
city.
now.
It's not immediate.
Regardless, it may still be coming after them. After all, like you say, this is the second time. Clearly, there
Feeling
is
significantly
something.
less like an accident and significantly more like an active attack upon this one family for some reason.
Still, I'm
Perhaps.
shocked they made it all the way here.
I
The
agree.
Condition.
the father, Akuma said that the beast just attacked the boy essentially and left them
How
alone.
long ago?
A few days ago, as long as it took him to get here.
Could they aim to try and clean up any mess that she had left behind? The boy saw her and did have some level of interaction with the situation. He knew his sister had that book.
Yeah, but
Well,
we killed her over a year ago, so
Well,
Whatever the
we were
case,
And yet these
somewhat
people had the
removed
same
from the
situation.
case. To be perfectly honest, I was not expecting Akuma to still be alive, let alone living peacefully in his house. And so it was quite a shock for me to see him.
I did not think you would return there. I do
Sorry
not know
about
if
that.
I could return to my home with that much pain stored inside.
he was adamant about protecting his home, caring for it.
I understand that.
Decision that might not have been for the best, it seems.
We cannot leave the sword unguarded. The dummy will have to make a call before we make any actions.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Netsu,
we must-
the tiefling, will speak up and just say, "I can inform the daimyo to come here if needs be, for guidance, for commands and requests."
It would be
Might
for the
be
best.
useful.
I'll walk with you, just to make sure there's no other demons going around.
I disagree. I believe Rice should travel as well. You clearly know what you are talking about. I trust you.
Okay.
And she gives a
The
nod in his
Damios-
direction.
Place isn't very far.
I know, but he knows much.
I'll join them then.
Netsu sort of stands there awkwardly waiting to see who is actually going with her, and then Rice steps up. But yeah, the two of you head towards the daimyo's estate. The guards, for lack of a better term, sort of receive you, show you some respect in a bow, and offer you sort of allowances into the estate, and bring the daimyo to you. And he just says, "I understand that there was a threat, an attack. My guards have informed me of this."
Riced, I imagine this is like in an audience chamber or something like that, or not?
It's quite informal.
Okay.
This is essentially in the doorway, not literally in the doorway, but like in the main foyer as you enter. The daimyo has actually came to you as opposed to you going to him.
Right. Well, Rice is still gonna like deeply bow and even knee to deliver the report, unless he is stopped. So kneeling on one knee before the daimyo. My liege, there was an attack on the temple, and which we repelled. But apart from that, Akuma, your acquaintance, he turned up at the temple as well. He was attacked in his home, and his son was killed by a demon, by an Oni.
As you mentioned, the son being killed, he takes a step back in shock and in pain. He reaches up to his chest and sort of looks down and thinks, and then for a moment he just says, "Kuma only returned home but days ago, a week ago or so. It's been so long away from it. Decided now was the time to return. I assume you do not believe that this is a coincidence."
We do not believe it's a coincidence. Akuma himself has also suffered an injury, and we have taken him to the hospital to be isolated and treated by the clerics. of
What
Kriya.
sort of
He is
incident?
blighted. I do not know the details.
He's going to look at one of his guards and just say, "Make sure the best clerics see to Akuma." And he clicks a finger and points towards the direction of the door, and the guard sort of bows and leaves the estate straight away and presumably heads towards the hospital. He looks to you and just says, "Thank you for passing this message on. The current Mamoru are out of the city. I fear that if it is this blight and plague that threatens Akuma's life, as well as the life of the wildlife to the north of the plain, then our next steps should be to arrange for them to be healed. Both Akuma, anyone affected by this threat, and the land itself. I will think on this. Do you require my assistance any further, Reist and Netsu?"
We require your command as to what our actions should be. Some of us want to investigate it.
And where would you suggest to investigate it? Back to his property?
That would be a place to start. Maybe there are clues as to why both incidents happened there. We do potentially know the cause of the first one, but there must be some lingering threat that is still there.
Make a persuasion check for me.
It's the same.
My priority is the protection of the katana, as well as the people of this city. Without the Mamoru, to send you off would be to leave this city unprotected, its history unprotected, and its people unprotected. There are, however, two groups of you. Kuma is a great friend of mine. One group of you will protect Kuma at the hospital. One group will stay at the temple to protect the blade. For now. At least
Thank you
until
for your
I can
guidance.
speak to him. At least until I can speak to him directly. After which,
We shall do as you command.
of course, you can work it out between you which group goes to the hospital and which group stays at the temple. Thank you.
It's gonna bow out.
He bows towards both you and Netsu. And Netsu bows, and she sort of turns towards the door and looks towards you, Reist. See if you're ready to leave.
Yep, leaving with Netsu.
As you leave and the door closes behind you, she sort of looks to you and says, "So do you have a preference on whether you protect an inanimate object or whether you protect a old man?"
I think I prefer an animate object. Besides, they probably won't let me smoke at the hospital.
You're probably right. Plus, because he's already at the hospital, guess it makes sense. I'll collect my friends, I'll let them know what's happening, and we'll head to the hospital and you protect the sword. I can be in contact with you. I can't imagine that you can be in contact with me. You didn't seem like the
Not
cleric
me
or
for
paladin
sure.
type. I will try to maintain communication with you, and if you require our assistance, hopefully it is during a time of my communication you are able to give us a heads up of any dangers that you see or perceive.
Alright. Thank you.
And yeah, as you head back to the temple, was anyone wanting to do anything or speak about anything during that time whilst Reist and Netsu were off seeing the daimyo?
Yeah. While they're gone, I was going to, if anyone wanted to join me, have a look at some of these bodies, as in, again, checking out the level of rot and such that was going on with them.
I'll just kind of help.
Darshana, roll an investigation check with advantage as you look around the bodies. Kiyoshi's at this one, sort of just like prodding it with his foot. They're all pretty well rotted and plagued, I guess. And as you're sort of waiting for Reist to return, there's a quick decomposition of the bodies here. The imps, which is a normal thing for all of you that you would have all experienced, whether it was the time in the house or whether it was the sort of cleanup after the fact. The bodies of the demons and fiends begin to rot and sort of turn to this black, sort of gooey...
Goop?
Yeah, goop is a good word. This black goop that's just sort of melts into a form and then very quickly decomposes into the earth itself. The forms of the people are a little bit more, well, they're acting more normal to their surroundings. The rot is, the rot is sort of, it climbs all the way up their arms, so both arms are completely covered. As you sort of look and investigate, you see below their sort of their robes or armor or whatever it is they're wearing, their entire torso is covered in this sort of blackened necrotic rot. And as I described earlier, it's sort of climbing up their neck. It's not sort of reaching the sort of their chin or anything yet, but it's sort of climbing from their sort of collarbone up halfway up their neck or so. But they're acting more normal, but there is still this sort of goopiness that is coalescing in where their rot is formed.
Got no. Is that similar to how the woman? Her body?
Her form stayed less goopy for a longer time. I actually can't remember what you did with her form. Did you bring her back to the city, or did you leave her? You left her, right?
We left her there when we burnt the place.
Yeah.
I think we burned her with the
I was
plate.
gonna say I can't remember if you burnt her or.
Well, she was there.
We just kind
I'm
of left the
assuming.
corpse there as we set fire to everything and then left.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe you might not have seen what happened to her body.
We were there for a while when we were dealing with like the horn thing, back and forth, like burn it, it's not burning. Now what are we doing with it?
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That did take some time. Yeah, in that case, yeah, there would have been a goopiness to her, but this seems way more exaggerated.
Still a lot faster.
Yeah, a lot faster. A lot, just generally speaking, a lot more goopiness. Her goopiness was like just like little splotches here and there. This is like a pool. You imagine the torso will eventually pool in and just become goofiness altogether. It's not to that point yet, but yeah, there's an immediate sort of decomposing taken effect here.
Okay. Turn to the others during that time. That's pretty much all she would have done during that time, was just check out the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She's not an expert on goop.
Not yet.
Not yet. She's getting there. She's coming across a lot of it lately.
Yeah. Anyone else wanting to do anything?
Livanda wouldn't be doing too much, though she would be contemplating, like, where this demon could possibly be. The fact that it had attacked a child and seriously angered her, and that that emotion would be clear on her face and her eyes, and like she would just be talking to herself and Anda about what possibly could be done about this wretched beast attacking a child like that. I don't care who or what you are, you deserve death.
The form of Emoto will lie down beside wherever you're standing or sitting, whatever you're doing.
You'd be sitting on the floor.
Yeah, and Emoto just gives you some attention. Apparently still under the command of protecting you.
She smiles very lightly. She smiles like very lightly, like a very tense smile. A hand on her sword and nods in their general direction, and then looks over at Ete and says a little bit louder, "Thank you for sending them here to protect me."
She bows deeply. A great sign of respect is this is not just a casual bow. This is a very low bow.
Livanda quite immediately gets up to return it.
And as she comes back up, there's a more comfortable smile that sort of crawls across her face. She certainly struck you as a very awkward individual. Perhaps probably speaks to big cats more than she speaks to people. And maybe that is
Livanda would completely understand that.
Yeah.
Having come from a very similar place.
Yeah. But there's a sort of a kinship that appears as she smiles. It's a smile that she would maybe share with Emoto more than any other person or human or whatever humanoid. But she shares it with you for a moment and just gives you a nod, and turns back around and just looks into the water of the lake here, focuses on the noise and the peace as she sort of begins to close her eyes and meditate for a moment.
Anda proceeds to land next to her, not disturbing her, but just near her.
Anyone else?
The mention of the young boy, after checking the bodies, Dashana probably would have gone over and started saying a prayer of the young boy's corpse.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I will join with that prayer for Kerr.
Yes.
During this time, actually, as a note, because Gizzy did say that Netsu might be able to help, she is capable of casting merely Revivify. And so she's going to approach with a sort of she diamond. Now, diamonds are quite rare here. And so she
even do that, considering we know he's been dead for weeks. For a week, right? For 3 days.
It depends, I guess. Let me see if she was actually listening. You might have noticed she doesn't listen very often.
Oh yeah.
But she rolled pretty well, so maybe she just pulls out the diamond and sort of, with Darshana, sort of contributes to the prayer and the show of respect, using the diamond as almost like a kind of like a cross for lack of a better term, tracing the symbol of the flame in the air as she does so, and leaves it at that. But after a little bit of time, Reist and Netsu arrive. Netsu sort of gathers her sort of quote-unquote team and group as she sort of tells them that they're going to be going to the hospital and protecting Akuma there. And Netsu, Aite, Emoto, and Kiyoshi head off to leave. As Kiyoshi is leaving, he looks to you, Darshana, and just says, "Good job out there."
Shana would have picked up the body and walked towards him. And when he says that, she'll nod and hold out the boy's body for him. And she'll just like nodding at him, looking like, oh, I hate admitting to this. She's like, your skills have grown considerably since last we saw each other.
As of yours.
Make sure his father gets his body.
He gives a nod. He takes the body off you. And as there's the transition of the body, he sort of looks at you, and there's, much like in Darshana's face and the way that she speaks to Kiyoshi, there's a conflict there when he's about to open his mouth. There's this, again, it's that same sort of, I hate that I'm about to say this, but he sort of takes the body and he just says, "Try not to get yourself killed. All right?"
She'll actually laugh at that and just do the same. I think enough of the other teams have died already.
He nods, and with the body, there's no smile there to maybe's for that tension to be lifted a little bit. He just gives you a sort of straight look and nod, almost as if like colleagues or sort of just people that are almost forced to work alongside each other. There's no sort of kindness or friendship there, just sort of acknowledgement of what you've said. He takes the body and turns, and with the rest of his group, they all head southward towards the city, and presumably towards the hospital where Akuma is being kept.
As soon as his back turns, she'll probably roll her eyes rather dramatically, like, "Oh my god."
I'm gonna address everyone. I know some of you wanted to go and seek vengeance immediately, but the daimyo thought it unwise to leave the city unprotected. He instructed us to keep protecting the temple, at least until further command, but likely until the previous Mamoru return.
Protecting the temple is equally as important. So what now?
We protect. Rice kind of looks around at the corpses that are decomposing. And maybe we put up some sort of a fence around those.
Could we just let them goopify? They're gooping pretty quickly.
Well, don't want anyone to go step in the goop.
Do we collect the goop?
I don't want to touch it.
Neither do I.
Just make sure nothing else gets affected by it.
So, put up a fence around the goop.
Burn the goop?
I agree.
Wash the goop away?
Do we know if, from the knowledge that we have been shared, if it's a form of disease or something? Or is it more magical in nature?
It certainly seems magical in nature. There's, and this is the double-edged blade. There's a lack of understanding here, where maybe elsewhere, if magic was sort of openly practiced, then maybe they would have some knowledge or understanding. But yeah, there's a sort of sense of not understanding it fully. Certainly magical. It is seemingly, it can seemingly transition from individual to individual, or in the case of the horn, potentially even from the horn itself to whatever it touches. That would explain why the land that it sort of sat upon was plagued. And it's difficult to say. The understanding is that it spreads quite slowly, but obviously the land that you had saw was very enveloped by it. So either it had been there for a
fast in its
while.
corruption.
Yeah, it was either there for a while, or for whatever reason, the growth of it had been sort of exaggerated in its speed. But I would say that none of you would feel safe in touching these bodies in their current forms as they sort of goopify and begin to decompose. There would be parts of you that would be like, oh, I don't know if touching this is the best course of action because of the potential risk to yourself.
Yep, I was asking if we would know if our disease immunity would protect us at all or not. But if we don't know, then yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. In regards to that, you imagine that it will overpower such things as your disease and stuff, your disease immunity and whatnot. Even attempts to sort of remove curse, those sort of spells, or restoration spells, they've been attempted. None of them, well, I guess as I explained earlier, it slows it down, but it doesn't stop it, and it doesn't take it away. Your understanding is that it requires life, though. So, like, whether it's the wildlife of nature, of the grass or bushes or trees, or whether it is, skin of a person or scales of a person, or whatever it might be. That is probably why you were able to freely and you were able to carry the horn around, because you had wrapped it up and secured it in that place before destroying it.
So no touching the goop.
Livanda decides to take a few, a few twigs and such, things that have fallen off trees, and mark off circles around each one of the bodies, maybe like a foot or two away from the initial pooling of their goop, as like a marker to see if it grows any closer or spreads.
Okay, good to know. Bit of a science experiment. I think there's another body somewhere. Where is it? Oh, it's on the bridge. Awkwardly.
On the bridge.
Oh no, the bridge is gooped.
Bridge is getting goopified. Fortunately, it's made out of wood that has been chopped down, and so probably doesn't have much life in it anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, you Livanda, you go around, you sort of mark it around with even some pebbles and sort of snapped off sticks that are just lying around.
Kind of just whatever she can find.
Yeah, just as markers, you're able to do that easily enough and keep an eye on in terms of the expansion. At the moment, as I say, the bodies are in the process of goopifying, so no immediate information will be revealed to you, but you'll be able to to keep an eye on it
Future
over time.
reference over the
Yeah.
over the next few days, weeks, or months, whatever it may be.
But with that said, is there anything else anyone is wanting to immediately discuss or do or talk about?
Well, everything's been going on. Ziggy's just been kind of staring off, like deep in thought,
Mhm.
and I want to think back to what that guy said to me when he said like we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. I
Mhm.
wanted to like look back and see if that was like a genuine warning or a genuine like a threat.
Ooh, okay. Roll an insight check.
I must have missed this. Which guy said that?
It was
One of the groups.
one of the
Okay, good.
goops, yeah.
This man over
Yeah.
here.
With a
that particular.
what did you roll?
I rolled a 15.
15. Let me word this in my head first. Thinking back on it, there was a sense of desperation on the man's face.
Mhm.
Not desperation for his life necessarily, just desperation for control.
Mhm.
What he said was a warning akin to what you would give to a friend, or an ally, or
Mhm.
anything like that.
Yeah,
It was not a
'cause,
threat.
like in the heat of the moment, I'm trying to protect the temple, but Ziggy did like it did seem kind of off. Not like you don't know what you're dealing with, but it seemed sort of desperate, and so that's why you wanted to think on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the conclusion you come to. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it didn't seem like a threat. It didn't seem like he was speaking from this place of power, of strength, or anything like that. It was a warning. It was a genuine warning.
Like he was maybe trying to fight against it or something.
Potentially, yeah.
hmm Um, I'll keep that to myself for right now, and I'll just keep thinking on it.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
So what do you all make of this?
Awfully convenient they decided to show up when the old guard aren't here.
Dude. Were they trying to make it towards the temple, or were they trying to make it to him, though?
I wonder if this was a last-ditch effort in an attempt to stop whatever corruption they could before it took them as well. So knowing Akuma was corrupt, maybe they were trying to stop it from spreading.
Why would they
Oh.
attack us then? Why
They
not
didn't
corrupt it?
initially.
Oh yeah, they did. They brought demons with them and they attacked us.
But is that them actively doing it, or is it just a thing that happens when you're neck deep in corruption?
Who knows?
Another question as well, besides them. For Akuma himself, why come to the temple?
Said he.
Daimyo's estate is
Hmm.
right there. That's his friend, who would be able to gain him medical aid for his son. Why the temple?
Perhaps he was taking an extra layer of precaution to save his friend from the
But he
corruption.
had to go right
The
past
temple.
Doesn't make sense. He
No,
came
no,
from this road.
The
He had to
temple.
go
Had to
right
go through
past the
this.
daimyo.
Exactly.
If he cut
didn't
across the
take the
forest,
cyber.
the temple is closer than the daimyo's estate.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
But then he might have come from the other side. Whereas this seemed like he was coming from the daimyo's estate, at least
Do we know
somewhat.
what side it came from?
He seemed genuine in his intentions, but
Don't
I
think
agree,
it was
it doesn't add up.
nefarious. I wonder if there was some sort of force pushing him towards the temple, is my point.
Maybe to
Oh.
the sword itself.
Yes.
Maybe.
After all, these people were here as well, bringing
They were
demons
definitely targeting
alongside.
him as well.
I
They were
agree.
targeting him.
The one ran straight up to him, cut him
Yeah.
across his back.
And the other got close enough to try as well. But they let him go for 3 days. For 3 days, they let him travel to Nara, to this temple, and only attacked him then?
We don't know if they were following him for 3 days and waiting for him to come to this
His
temple.
family.
Yeah, but it was not
No.
them. It was a demon. It was an Oni.
But then that begs the question as to why the Oni stopped.
I wouldn't
Why not
know.
finish the job? Kill the rest of the
Maybe,
family?
maybe the Oni didn't care. These, so
Something
are
doesn't add up,
demons.
is what we're saying. Yes?
They rejoice in suffering.
I don't assume to
something-
understand what they rejoice in.
But still, something doesn't quite add up. The timing is concerning.
How long have
most
the
definitely.
older Mamoru been gone at this point?
Just like a few days. Like, it's not been long at all.
Yeah.
Handful of days at best.
All right. Yeah. No.
For a moment, I even suspected that this was not Akuma and it was the Oni, but didn't seem so, and he was also attacked, and he didn't turn into a pile of goop after he was struck down. So it might be a coincidence.
Maybe the goop thing
So-
is just progression of whatever this curse or plague or whatever it
it's-
is.
It's still
Was-
way too many coincidences for me to feel any sort of positive
agree.
way about this.
I agree with Ziggy.
Not suggesting to feel positive.
It just
I-
seems
it-
like it's a lot to happen to one family in a arguably relatively short period
But-
of time. I know it's been a few years, but not that long. Like, for this much activity on one family
They only
Oh.
returned to their home.
recently.
Yes, a week ago, the daimyo informed me they just returned to their home. So perhaps it was there all the time.
Yeah.
Perhaps it was just dormant after what happened with the portal, and
That's a
Maybe
when they
question.
returned, they got attacked.
That's a question I want to bring up. Is it actually the family, or is it the location?
Besides, the portal
close
was
something to the
opened at the
blighted area?
location.
Did you not close it?
We closed
Adam?
it, but we don't know what else went through it. It was open for days before we got there. They were hiding for days.
And maybe somebody should go back.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what
make
we
sure
suggested
they're truly
to the
good.
daimyo. And he thought protecting the city was more important. I'm sorry, if you want, you can talk to him yourself.
No, I doubt he will change his mind.
For the older order members to return before we're sent out again. I doubt he
I
will
can
let this
send a
sit.
message to them.
Mhm.
I'm sure he likely is now, in fact.
So I just want to clarify some points in terms of the geography, in terms of where the household of Akuma's family is. So it is obviously it's days away, but it's northeast of here. Now the likelihood is if he was trying to get to the city quickly, he would potentially run. He wouldn't be able to get on this side of the river because it sort of follows up the mountain. That is the mountain range that Nara sits against. So he would have to have he probably would have ran into the daimyo's estate, or at least that area where the entrance to the estate is. It's not too far away. As I said earlier, Rice, you could see Gizzy entering the walls from the bridge. So it's possible. It's absolutely possible, logistics wise, that he just saw people, and rather than going into the estate, he then turned onto the road and started running towards the people that he could see through the woods. So he
So
would, he would
would
have
travel like in this direction here, and then had the choice where to go.
He
Is what
probably,
you're saying.
because you saw him running straight down the road, it probably would have been a little bit more of an angle, his run towards the daimyo's estate, like that, yeah. And then when he gotten through the woods essentially and saw that there was people there, he probably would have turned and ran towards you. And that is where the other people came from. It's the same direction where the other people came from as well.
So they were
Just push
probably
closer.
following him.
It's possible. It's absolutely possible.
Or yeah. But also
And-
we know that just the whole blighted area is in that direction anyway. So that's
Yes.
the only logical place for them to come from anyway, whether they were following or not.
Close is their house to the blighted area?
It was essentially like, so that their house is maybe 3 days travel. You were able to get to the blighted area within a day's travel. So it's obviously between here and the Lake Sume, but certainly closer to the city than it is to the household of Akuma.
Mhm.
So,
So we could have
in order
passed
to
through
get to the
there.
blighted
and-
area, you'd pass the house?
Sorry?
I think in order to get to the house,
No,
you pass
vice
the
versa.
blighted
Yeah.
area the
Oh,
other way.
Blighted area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's essentially in the middle of Nara and the lake where Akuma lives.
Okay, yeah.
Just like I say, closer to the city than it is to the lake.
And the blighted area has spread since we saw it.
It's been kept at bay. I'll say. I'll use that word. It's not spreading. It regrew. So where you had burned it, and it was basically just ashen and burnt. It had regrown
That
through
part
that.
regrew
And yeah, that had basically taken its original form of what it was. Since then, the Korea clerics have been able to keep it at bay to a certain degree. It's probably spread a little bit further than it was before, but as I say, they've been able to keep it at bay, been able to control it and slow it down, just not been able to stop it or restore the land to its original form.
And would we have heard anything about the house itself, like the lake area? Because that was devoid of animals as well.
No, there was no suspicious activity there or anything like that. I mean, the father had returned just days ago. Presumably, he wouldn't have done that if he didn't feel safe to do so.
Well, considering how that ended, that's an arguable point, but yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, whether it is safe, or whether it is safe and whether it feels safe are two different things. So
Yes.
information coming from that area was obviously limited, but information that was coming from it was that at least north of the Blight and sort of surrounding the city, so south of the Blight, wildlife was fine. So presumably the lake and where the house is was also returned to normal, and more so his holding off from going there was probably more so of an emotional thing than anything else, rather than like him feeling that there was an actual physical threat. But as you say, that turned out bad for him. So
Yeah. Well, until there is an investigation done, I doubt we will find out any definitive answers. Speculating will get us nowhere.
I guess to be even less helpful with the speculation, when I was fighting against that one guy who decided to implode all of us, he seemed like he was genuinely warning us against something.
Was he
Yeah,
genuinely
yeah.
warning us against the fact that he's going to implode us again?
No,
Oh.
it wasn't like a threat. More like
You have no idea
desperation.
what you're into?
Yeah. Like, obviously, there's way more to this. But, I don't know. The way he said it just struck something in me. It didn't seem right, especially for someone who's potentially trying to
murder
kill me. Yeah, to say something like that. It's
The
kind of
woman
like,
was also affected by something outside of her control. We speculated at the time whether or not she was in control of the situation or was under the control of something else.
maybe. She seemed more malicious, though.
No, she definitely had some ill intent, but the question of whether or not she started it or something else affected her to the point she became what she was the question I think we asked ourselves.
Well, all I know is this is insane, and it's way bigger than we possibly ever could have thought.
I do not like how close this is encroaching on Nara. They felt uncomfortably comfortable coming into the city, much like the woman did.
I agree. Seems as though whatever may or may not be controlling them or giving them this rot
They are
is getting some
certainly,
confidence.
they're being incredibly bold.
Exactly.
They're hardly even trying to hide it.
Almost as if fear is something they have forgotten.
And yet he clearly had enough fear to warn us of something else. Maybe fear for themselves is what they've lost.
All we know is
This
what
is
we
all
have
just
seen.
deeply concerning.
Concern is shared.
For now, we protect the sword. Hopefully the current order will return soon, and the daimyo can give us further orders.
I agree. If they return within a week or so, hopefully they will. Maybe we can check out this house ourselves. Maybe kill ourselves an Oni.
Like
The
that.
only's still there.
I did say
Sure,
maybe.
if it's not, we could find it.
Exactly.
The Onis can travel far in the span of a week or two. Are we going to take all that time to search every inch?
If it's within the parameters of our mission,
And we shall.
I don't see why not.
No. Not against it. I don't want to spend weeks searching the woods. Well,
Not like we have a choice, right, Jameson? He's pretty much out of this conversation because it's kind of pointless to him since everything he does now is basically dictated by orders. Whether he likes it or not, he kind of accepted it.
Does Shana insight check whether or not he likes the fact that he has to listen to orders, please?
He's not really hiding it.
I was going to say, is Rice
I'll put
hiding
it
it?
that way. No.
I'm going to say for the majority of you, you're able to determine it. Unless you have a very bad insight score. At which point, maybe you're a bit naive to the fact. I think Balshaw might have a pretty bad check. Could be wrong.
Balshaw probably believes that everyone's here for the honor.
Some of us are.
I mean, it's only logical.
Oh, your insight isn't as bad as I thought it was.
I'm a 15.
Mine's a 12.
But as the next few days roll by, the daimyo does indeed stop by and give you an update, and he informs you of the current Mamoru. He discusses where they have headed, and they have headed northward to Tayatan Soru, the peak of the large mountain range that curves around and Nara sits against. The Mamoru are heading northward for the Walk of Atu. The Mamoru have made a decision on who they believe should be the next Mamoru. And they have left that information with the daimyo. The reason that they have left, because they are no longer Mamoru.
Shit.
You are. And their walk is not just simply a walk, but it is an embrace of the afterlife.
They're dead?
There is a lake at the peak of Tayatan Suru, which all Mamoru that are retired can, if they wish, it's not an obligation, head to and live out the rest of their life there and embrace whatever natural fate comes to them. Again, over the next course of the next few days, you are tasked with heading to the household of Akuma. As you investigate and check it out, there's nothing suspicious other than the mess that has been created. The house, the furniture is all over the place. There's obviously been a tussle inside, but no signs of any gateways or anything like that. No sign of an Oni. Bar maybe some footprints that very quickly dissipate into the wilderness. But it does head southward into the plains. And that is where this session comes to an end. Welcome to a Mamoru, I guess.
We did it, guys.
Have to get used to those orders.
You've earned your titles.
Woo. Suck it, Kiyoshi.
And
The pure
just
pettiness in that alone.
just for
Yes.
just for information, for all of your guys' sake, the recruits do stick around because they are required in case any of you die. They basically stand in as stand-ins for the Mamoru. So if any of you die, one of them will step in and be
We
like,
get
"Hello."
replaced by an NPC. Oh no!
Hey, can we pick our successors?
Maybe if you die, maybe.
If I
But yeah,
die, can I pick Kiyoshi?
we'll see.
Anyone but Kyoshi.
But no,
Deliberately
Oh, no, I'll
ignores him,
play
and
him.
then he's the last one to be picked, and then it has to be you
more
by
so
order of
the
elimination.
more so the in-world sort of way of successing is the recruits. I mean, this particular situation is a little bit different because there's an immediate or surrounding threat, so the recruits are likely going to be pretty prevalent compared to usual. But usually the recruits would go back to their normal life, but they would be sort of expected to basically
Be
come
on
to the daimyo.
standby?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. They would be the sort of second successors, unless they got too old or they died or whatever the situation is.
They're themselves down.
Yeah.
I need to drop by my order. To say hi and rub it in Kiyoshi's face.
Gonna have a nice drink with
I mean,
the
he's
guys
still
with the
stuck at the
parrots.
hospital. And
Yeah, I mean, who knows
So-
how long he's going to be at the hospital for?
Oh, I've got time. I've got time.
Livana would absolutely do trying to start to bond with Yite.
Mhm.
Form a friendship.
But yes, good job, everyone. Congratulations on becoming Mamoru, and congratulations on not dying.
Indeed. I got very close there once again. What the
Yeah,
hell
you
is
did.
it with me and almost dying?
Yeah.
I see the
I
Freaking,
did hardly anything in that fight.
Hey, the bless might have made the difference a little bit, though.
Basically, that was my one job, was keeping Bliss active.
Yeah.
You should have picked up Misty
And you
Step,
done
my
did it.
guy. You get everywhere with that.
I'd have
Honestly?
to go Oath of Vengeance for that. I
Gotta
like
be
my
honest,
spiritual weapon, though.
I feel like the way you two both play your characters, Misty Step works so much better for Ziggy, and the Bless works so much better for Belshore.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way
Yeah.
they play and the way you both played with
I-
your characters, it just seems to work so much better. The way
I'm
they are
more
now.
defensive and supportive, where he's the more get in your face and smite the
Exactly.
shit
I
out
can
of you.
be
Exactly.
defensive
On
and
top of that.
supportive.
Exactly, but at the same time,
Oh, really?
you're
But
But
also
those are
very.
spell slots
You're
you could
also like
smite with.
you're
The best
defensive and
defense is
supportive,
a
but
good
with a sword.
offense.
Exactly.
Yep.
You're defensive
They-
and supportive with a sword. He
They
uses
can't
his
hurt my
magic.
friends if I kill them.
And
Exactly.
I will say, just knowing at least what I know of the characters as well, like it makes sense that Ziggy, literally named after moving around and speeding around too much, is able to fly around the battlefield and get around so much. And then the
It's-
guy
It was
yes.
all
who's
intentional.
the guy who's like, the leader of his old sort of can't think of the word, platoon. It's not really a platoon.
You can just call him a boomer.
Yeah, he's a bit of a boomer, but he protected his people. He protected his men and women and stuff that followed him. It makes sense. It's really, really well done. It shows that you can play the same class completely differently. It's great.
You know what really got me today, though? Is that I was stuck between the alert feat and the slasher feat. And I was like, I probably won't need alert too quickly. And then all of a sudden, there's just a bunch of invisible things. And it's just like,
Shit.
well.
Whoops.
I didn't
Well-
even get to do any of the cool stuff with slasher.
Yeah.
Because the guy I crit got fucking killed.
But yeah, good job. Hope everyone enjoyed.
Indeed, very much so. I
Yeah.
just I need to stop getting so close to time. It
Yeah.
keeps
Are we
happening.
leveling up?
I swear to
before
God,
next session?
it keeps happening. It keeps happening to Hifrin. It's happened to Hifrin and now Livanda. I
I-
swear to God, it's a curse.
I promise I don't have a personal vendetta.
I
It-
know.
It just happens.
I just have shitty dice rolls.
Yeah. You will be leveling up again twice. Again.
Oof.
To level,
To level
10?
10.
Level 10.
Nice.
Baby.
Doesn't
Oh,
level 9 do some
baby.
pretty big changes?
Actually, wait. Let me double check
Level 3 spells
Where?
on level 9.
Wait. Let me double check my.
Yeah.
Let me double check my notes.
Mhm.
That was a Sundered Soul. Cool.
So far, I've been
Yeah,
able
two
to
levels.
figure out. So far, I've been able to figure out what each one of the titles means. After the fact, but I've still been able to, after some thought, I've been able to figure it out.
Mhm.
Usually by the end of the session, what the title actually means. And this one, I just can't seem to figure it.
No?
I can't, and I'm confused as to why.
Oh, maybe you'll figure it out by next time.
Probably
so
not,
far
to be
now.
frank.
I just have all the auras right now. I'm just like,
Yeah. Well, maybe's you don't have all the clues. Maybe's the other sessions will reveal the
It's
meaning.
likely exactly the reason.
You killed them too fast.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't even know what they were after.
I'm gonna roll another dice to see if I reveal what the next episode's called.
Also, guys, I can run on water now.
Hey,
oh,
fucking sick.
Hey.
Also, I think my movement speed just went up to 70 something. What is my movement speed now?
insane.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll be that high,
it's
actually.
it's 60 feet. I can move 60
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
Oh no.
is it?
I have third
And
level
that's not-
spells.
and that's without dash. So,
Zoom! Oh god, third
Yes.
level spell slots to smite with.
I'm gonna smite everything.
yeah.
The next episode is called, and it's quite a straightforward title, A Plagued Father.
Oh no.
That
I
is
wonder
Oh
who
no,
that
don't
is.
start
I don't know
that.
what that.
Oh no.
What's a father? I haven't had one of those.
Yeah, they're a rarity out there. But yeah, again, hope everyone had a good time. Level up twice. I don't know if everyone did it because I know it was last minute, but just make sure you've got your +1 weapon, +1 armor, or I guess in Reist's situation, I don't know if you opted to go
Took
for
the armor,
Okay,
but
cool.
I wouldn't mind the second +1 weapon to be honest.
No, not yet. At least, who knows? There's still a few sessions left.
I still got a shield I can
Very
go up.
fancy robes. It's great.
I just want to confirm, am I able to add more spells? I believe I have 2 more slots I can add in.
Slots don't matter for the spells you know.
Yeah,
No, I mean, I believe I have, what's it called?
second level
You
spells.
I
learn
believe I
new
have extra
spells.
slots now, is what I'm saying. Is not just 3rd level slots, but like, I can add more spells maybe, possibly? I'm not 100%
I'm
sure.
gonna quickly look to make sure you're doing your spells correctly.
Yeah, because I just,
You
I
have-
I
mean,
haven't done
D&D
anything.
Beyond
I haven't
gives you a
added anything.
limit to how many spells you know. So
Yeah.
on 10th level, you'll be able to pick 6 spells essentially.
Yeah.
Any 6.
So on your spells,
But-
if you're going to manage spells, it'll say along the top known spells, and it'll have currently it's
Yeah,
got
known
four
spells
out
4
of
of
6.
6.
Yeah, so you can
Okay, so that means I can add 2 more.
you can add 2 more.
Perfect.
And as a
you can
ranger,
change 2.
yeah, as a ranger. Actually, no. Did we?
You can change 1 each level, right?
Is it
So
level?
every level you can change 1
Okay.
by roll, I think so.
Yeah, let's go with that because I can't be bothered to confirm or deny. So let's do that.
But
I think that's
with
what I was doing with
Tasha,
Shakara.
oh no, this is UA. Oh, with Tasha, yeah, with Tasha, no, you don't technically have spell versatility with Tasha.
I'll allow it.
But there was a UA for it.
I was allowing Shakar to do it, so
Okay.
I'll be consistent throughout the world. So yeah, if Levander, if there's any spells that you're not using or not finding much use for, per each level you can swap a spell out and add another one instead. Otherwise, you can just add the 2 that you're down.
Oh, that's
basically.
normal
Well,
rules.
then
Like on level
I'll-
up, you can always swap for ranger.
Okay.
So I just want to confirm, are you allowing me to change any spells that I'm not using,
Yes.
basically?
Yes.
You are? Okay. I did just want to confirm
If there's
that,
any
'cause
spells
if-
that you're just
if
like,
this-
oh, I'm not going to use that, or I've picked
Yeah,
it, but
no,
it's not as useful as it could have been, or whatever.
Yeah, I thought Dark Vision was going to be a lot more useful, but I haven't used it once.
Mhm.
And
Oh, and next session we're going into the dark cave.
Yes, thank you for
Yeah.
telling me that.
swear to fucking God, if we are, I'm going to scream.
I wouldn't be
The feeling Path
surprised.
Without Trace will come in handy at some point, so
I mean-
I'm going to hold on to that.
I know where
Not-
I know where you're going.
Oh, yeah.
You do know where I'm going. Which is why I'm like about it, because it's...
But yeah, you've got two slots there that 2 known spells that you're able to to add to. So
I'm going to definitely
you could
add some more.
technically keep Dark Vision and just add two more spells. It's up to you.
Very good.
But yeah, have a good one, everyone. I'm gonna head off and get some food and have a chill. But good job.
Same.
Well done for not dying, and
We did it.
yeah, good shit.
I'm still upset that she hit me with the whip last time. Otherwise, I would have been, unscathed so far. And it was on the one turn when I was supposed to be sneaking around.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you've not been hit yet in this.
Well, I've been hit by that
Yeah.
whip once when I was trying to stealth.
Okay, I need to redirect some of the NPCs from Leavander to Reist. Understood.
I mean, good luck because I'm not running into the middle of the fight.
Yeah, this is true.
He'll bring the fight to you.
Yeah.
Sure, if he wants to chase me with everyone, I'm fine with that.
I'll do it.
I'm fast.
Don't challenge me.
Challenge
Take care,
him to
guys.
it.
I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, have a good one. Hope you're able to get a little bit more sleep, my friend. And yeah, hope everything's all right. But
I'm gonna try.
Definitely need it.
but yeah, I'll speak to everyone later. Have a good day, or good night, or good evening, or good morning, whatever time it is.
A good
Anyways.
existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Take care.
Bye.
Alrighty. Good session. That was episode 3, A Sundered Soul. It's time for me to head off though, so I will speak to you all later. Ta-ta.